21-year-old Lion King has another Penn State team geared for a run at the national championship. The University of Pittsburgh is at its own championship moments, but the glory days of Dan Marino are long gone, and the program had fallen on hard times. There is new hope in Pittsburgh. Enter Walt Harris, who guided Pitt to his first bowl in 8 years and has the Panthers back on the prowl. Penn State versus Pittsburgh. It's college football on CBS. Three mighty rivers meet at the confluence of the Ohio River. Today, two state rivals meet in a series that dates back to 1893. The Nittany Lions arrived in Pittsburgh looking for victory number 301 for Joe Paterno. The upstart Pitt Panthers travel to the stadium via the same path taken by Tony Dorsett, Bill Fralick, and Mike Ditka. Live from Pitt Stadium, 8th-ranked Penn State takes on the University of Pittsburgh. And here comes Pittsburgh. Pitt Stadium sold out. Penn State led by Joe Paterno, first trip to Pittsburgh since 1991. And hi everybody, welcome to Pitt Stadium in Pittsburgh. Glad you're with us. Craig Bullerjack along with Ed Cunningham. Oh, this game means so much. Pride for one. It's the Battle of Pennsylvania. A lot of renewed interest, Ed, in this football program at Pittsburgh. Last year, 6-5, landed in the Liberty Bowl. In 1998, there's a new quarterback, but yet a familiar name to Pitt fans.
Matt Lytle started 9 games in 1996, threw for over 1,200 yards. As a matter of fact, he is 12th all-time passing at Pittsburgh University. He is new to the system, to the Walt Harris system. He's got a great left arm, throws a great deep ball, and everybody in that huddle is very confident that Matt Lytle can get it done.
And we talk about Penn State, of course, the big story last week. Joe Paterno wins number 300 against Bowling Green. However, there is a side story to number 300. Paterno rotating 2 quarterbacks.
When they got to camp this year, everybody knew that Paterno would have to decide who his starting quarterback would be. Well, Joe decided not to decide. He's going with 2 quarterbacks. Kevin Thompson will get his 3rd start today, but expect to see Rashard Casey in the 2nd quarter. Thompson, more of a pocket passer. Casey will pull it down and run with it. One thing is for sure, both these guys can be productive. And we talked to Fran Ganner and said at the end of a game, if you had to decide who is your go-to guy, he said, I'd decide on game day. I'm not buying it. I'm saying he's going with Thompson.
All right, for more on the rotating quarterbacks, we take you downstairs to our colleague, John Dockery. Doc.
Greg, a new wrinkle this season for the rotating quarterbacks, the wristband for the first time to speed the 130 plays that Penn State has to call. The Messengers has too much to remember, too much to repeat. So now it's simple. A number means a play. So 192 might mean a short pass to the tight end. But getting that much information in a condensed form wasn't easy. The original, somewhat cumbersome, almost from wrist to shoulder. And let me see. Play number 1, back to the booth, and Craig and Ed. Play number 1, guys.
Play number 2 is weather conditions, Doc. Temperature 79, Ed. Humidity will play a factor, 66%. The wind about 8 miles an hour. Partly sunny day here in Pittsburgh. There's Joe Paterno, Joe Pa. 33rd year as the head coach, 49 years on this Penn State staff. Picked up win number 300 last week against Bowling Green. 71 years young. Walt Harris on the other side for Pittsburgh's 2nd year. And Ed, he preaches one thing: effort, every down, every play.
He says this 98 team is not quite where 97 team was effort-wise. I expect him to be there today.
An aerial view of Pitt Stadium, the Goodyear blimp, Spirit of Akron. Penn State will receive. They come in with a 2-0 record, knocking off Southern Mississippi and Bowling Green. Pittsburgh had knocked off Villanova in the opener, yet had last week off, an extra week to prepare for Penn State.
Villanova, a 1AA team. A lot of people would think, oh, they snuck by them. But trust me, Villanova is one of the best 1AA teams. Watching them on film, Pitt had their hands full. So that was actually a pretty good test for this young Pittsburgh team.
Now this stadium boiling over. Sold out. We're underway. No return for Sam Crenshaw. Kevin Thompson starts at the quarterback, and as we mentioned, will rotate with Rashard Casey. Tailback is Cordell Mitchell, averaging 9 yards a carry. Some say he has a little bit of that Tony Dorsett in him. Up front, it's Wedderburn, McKenzie, Cole, Fagan, and Caruso.
Wedderburn, the most talented at left tackle, was a former defensive lineman, now solidified at left tackle for Penn State.
Nastasi, the motion man. Handoff. Mitchell breaks a big one, 15 yards to the 35. Defensively for Pittsburgh, they run a 4-3. Kashubara, Pegram, Gibson, and Samoyan. Jacobs, Clark, and Thompson are the linebackers. Great speed. The DBs, Creighton, Dinkins, Hornack, and Poteet. First and 10 again. Up the middle, big hole. Fumble. Pittsburgh at the 40. DJ Dinkins forced the fumble, and Ed Poteet covered up.
A huge hole on the right side for Cordell Mitchell. Great down block by the tight end and the right tackle. Wedderburn gets a huge block as he pulls up inside, but Mitchell can just not hold on to the ball. What a huge turn of events for Pitt. Pitt's defensive coordinator, Larry Coyer, told us, if we just play hard for 60 minutes, who knows what can happen. And with plays like this, I have to agree with him. Who knows what can happen if Penn State's going to start turning it over.
And great field position for Pittsburgh. They start on their own 40-yard line from the eye. Lytle, the left-hander. They like to throw the football early. Good swing pass, and a tackle is broken by Williams. Sean Lee, the free safety, saved the touchdown. 27-yard pickup for the freshman. Lytle, the quarterback, 349 yards against Villanova. And up front, watch out for the 2 tackles. Brandon Williams will start at the tailback. He just blew off a big 27-yard gainer. And the 2 wide receivers, Ketchen and Grimm. Up front, 2 JC transfers will protect him at the tackles, Brown and Hansen.
And they will have their hands full. You have Brad Scioli on one side, number 5 for Penn State. On the other side, you have Courtney Brown, and all Big Ten defensive end. Those 2 young guys will be tested today.
Pittsburgh on the move early. Not much there as they try the front. Penn State defensively. And they've been hit early here on the football field. Scioli, Fleischauer, Jones, and Brown up front. The linebackers, Arrington, Short, and Morrison. And your DBs, Macklin, Lee, Fox, and King.
Anthony King, number 19, will fly up from that cornerback spot. He has great run support from his cornerback position.
From the eye, 3 wide receivers. Lytle, a 3-year letterman. Changing things up. 3-step drop, wants to run. Had a hole, but it closed her in a hurry.
Penn State blitzing from the left side. You see number 43 and number 11, LeVar Arrington. So Lytle says, well, you're going to blitz that way, I'm going to run this way. Not much of a pickup, but there is the speed of number 11, LeVar Arrington. We will see him all day long. A 230-pound linebacker who in high school ran a 10.78 meters. Throw out all 40 times. That is legitimate speed.
And he's back home, a local product from the Pittsburgh area. At 4,000 yards rushing and over 300 tackles in high school. Lytle likes to throw downfield. He was going outside to Terry Murphy. Murphy, who's missed the opener with shoulder problems, so his first chance of 1998, and it brings up a 4th down.
And there you see Lytle and Murphy talking. Murphy, he's back new this week. He had the hurt shoulder, and Walt Harris teased him last week when Latif Grimm had such a great game. He said, boy, that shoulder must be feeling a lot better. Terry Murphy said, yeah, coach, I think I'm going to be ready to play against Penn State.
They spotted at the 39. This will be a 49-yard attempt. Paul Wazula. Kick is up. Long enough, but he pushed it wide. So Rosilla misses from 49. We'll take a break. 12:23 to go in the first. Scoreless between Penn State and Pitt. Follow your favorite college football teams on CBS Sportsline and check out the matchup breakdown where you can compare any team head-to-head. Go to cbs.sportsline.com. Second offensive series for Penn State, and Ned, I would guess Joe Paterno, he told us last night in a meeting, forget 300. Forget the 300th win. We've got Pittsburgh to take care of. On the ground. Mitchell, maybe a yard to the 33. Flag is down.
The Sun America virtual playbook will take a look at a play that Penn State actually ran during the fumble. Just an easy student body left. You take it right. You go all the way back to the Green Bay Packers. You pull the left tackle and the center. Couple of down blocks. Wide receiver in motion is going to go up and block the free safety. Tailback is looking for just a little lane right off the butt of the tight end. And it was there on that fumble by Cordell Mitchell. That's a play they'll continue to go back to just because he fumbled. It was a successful play. Watch Penn State continue to go back to that well.
1st and 5. Saramelli, the fullback. Mitchell, the tailback. Pop. Nope. He did not have control. Juggled the football at midfield. Shoffey Fields.
Let's see if Shoffey turned his head a little bit there. Lost concentration. Oh, he got it down. That's a catch. Bad call by the official. He had 1 foot down and had control of the ball.
Paterno, he likes to walk. Great shape for 71 years of age. He'll walk a mile or two today. Pancho Brown lines up to the far side, the tight end. 2nd and 5. Oh, not much. Cordell Mitchell, the senior, met head on by Brian Jacobs, the middle linebacker, number 52.
Brian Jacobs, number 52, has changed position. He's now actually playing outside backer. Great fill. Defensive line did its job. The backside guard has number 52, Jacobs. That's their responsibility. They couldn't get through because the defensive line held him up. Jacobs, nice fill. Phil Clark there at the point of the attack, takes on the fullback and ISO on him. Jacobs there to clean it up. Nice tackle.
No gain, 3rd and 5. Good look at Kevin Thompson. Five-step drop, good protection in the pocket. Contact, no flags. And the intended receiver, Shoffey Fields. Trey Clayton, the left corner, on coverage.
Amir Pirifoy, a true freshman that was actually offered a scholarship to Penn State, decided I'm going to Pitt, and he's making Penn State pay. Gets down low on the legs. That is very, very dangerous. You can see the wince on Thompson's face, but he's got a little gimp walking down that sideline.
Pat Pigeon from his own 25. Tim Stein at the 13 and a fair catch. And so Pittsburgh will start deep in their own territory. Scoreless at Pitt Stadium. Penn State and Pitt.
The color of trust. One of the colors between the colors, created by Canon. Canon Laser Color. Its only competition is reality.
Could roses eventually cost a dime a dozen? Will you ever buy options on a rock star? Is there potential in the bot? One thing's for sure, opportunities abound. And every day we look at them through a microscope. Like a peek, let's get to work. Solomon Smith Barney.
It began as the product of meticulous Japanese design, but it was sent to Europe for finishing school. It was tested on Austria's Alpine roads, refined on Germany's autobahns, and chased on England's racetracks. Now the car that's proven itself in Europe is crossing the pond. Introducing the all-new Infiniti G20. Born in Japan, educated in Europe, now available in America.
A doubleheader on CBS. First, they're both undefeated. The Steelers and the Bucs drive into Marino territory. Then the Super Bowl champs look to continue to roll against the Raiders. The NFL on CBS, the way it should be.
We're scoreless at Pitt Stadium. One of the reasons, third down, Amir Pirafor, a true freshman for Pitt, was recruited heavily by Penn State. Comes on the delay blitz. There's nobody to block him. The great speed to get to the quarterback. Kevin Thompson is dinged up a little bit. They got down around his legs, but it's that great speed at linebacker that Pitt got when they signed Amir Pirafor, the true freshman. 1st and 10, Pittsburgh from their own 14. Off the right side, big hole. Here comes Kevin Barlow. Near the first down marker at the 25, Brandon Short, a Butkus candidate, preseason award candidate, made the stop. Well, he is Mr. Everything, number 43. He's the eyes and ears for Jerry Sandusky, the defensive coordinator. 5th-year senior. He's been around this defense for 5 years. You know, the continuity of these Penn State coaches. Jerry Sandusky's been at Penn State since he left high school. He's been there for 31 years. It's amazing. And that's why these guys are so well coached. 10-yard pickup, play action on first down. Catch is made. Terry Murphy will mark him at the 36. So back-to-back first downs for Pitt. Anthony King made the tackle, the right corner. Brad Scioli, number 5, who was a tight end last year, has moved back to the defensive line, and he's going to make life miserable for Matt Lytle. But Lytle puts it right on the spot, a deep out route. Again, we talked about Lytle's arm strength. He throws a great ball, and boy, is he happy to have Terry Murphy back at wide receiver. Murphy, all Big East a year ago. There's Sandusky. Sandusky says that this is as fast a defense. He wouldn't go on the limb and say it's the fastest, but he said as fast a defense as he has ever had here at Penn State. Well, you got LeVar Arrington, Brandon Short, Mac Morrison. You can brag a little bit. There's Arrington, number 11. Putting some time back on the clock. They have it at 10:32. We talked about Arrington's 10.78 speed. The guy that backs him up, and you'll see a lot today, Aaron Gatton, another linebacker. Well, he was only the 100 and 200-meter state champion when he was in high school. I mean, these guys, they can fly around the football field. Pitt right now, though, they're doing some things to slow them down. They're changing their formations quite a bit. That's what they said they had to do. They rotate their wide receivers. Lateef Grimm in along with Kenny Ketchen. 3 wideouts. 1st and 10 from the 36. Boy, Penn State read that play from the get-go. Barlow nowhere to roam. Tackled down by Bobby Jones, the nose tackle. Here's where that team speed will kill you. Everybody says speed kills. Bob Jones on the left guard. Nobody came down to block him. He was completely unblocked. Pitt having trouble early on. You can't make those kind of mental errors, not with this type of speed that Penn State has on defense. Joe Paterno knows you start making mental errors against my guys are fast enough to come over there and make the tackle. Good job by Bob Jones recognizing the play, unblock, get upfield, and blow it up.
Second down, 16, a loss of 6. Indy Lions showing blitz. Oh, Arrington. LeVar Arrington, he will be in your face all day. Courtney Brown, the left end, also in on the pile.
Matt Lytle getting a little bit of that happy feet. It seemed to me that the pocket wasn't really collapsing. Lytle coming from the left, or excuse me, Arrington coming from the left side of your screen. Lytle, where are you going? The pocket is there. Settle down, look downfield. The minute a quarterback gets happy feet, starts looking at his rush, he's forgotten what's going on. And when guys like Courtney Brown and LeVar Arrington, they were blocked. I know you have respect for them, but get the ball off.
Shows good patience this time, but the ball nearly intercepted inside the 45. On the coverage was Tika's Pettigrew, the hero back. So 4th down for Pittsburgh.
Matt Lytle, it's not unusual for him to have a few jitters here early in the game. He's going to have to settle himself down. Right now, this offensive line that I thought was going to struggle, not doing that bad of a job. He's a little gun shy. He's got to settle down.
Greg DeBolt inside his own 15, averaging just under 45 yards a kick. Bruce Branch back to receive. Oh, it gets a bit bounce and out of bounds inside the 25 to the 22. 51-yard kick. We're scoreless in Pittsburgh. Scoreless in the first quarter. The Goodyear blimp is floating overhead today, providing our aerial views for the game. The Spirit is proud to be part of the celebration for the 100th anniversary of the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. Thompson, deep ball, has a man, in and out of the hands, incomplete. Corey Jones wide open down the far sideline. We take you now to New York. Timmy Brando for a College Football Today update. Tim?
Craig and Ed, what a difference a week makes. NC State did it to Florida State last week. Kent Passingham, his first collegiate tries ever against Baylor. Right now, the Bears cling to a 3-point lead over the Wolfpack. 2 minutes left.
It's amazing what a week will do. They beat Florida State last week, lose to Baylor. Joe Paterno's got that head down. He's not real happy with what he's seeing. That ball was a touchdown if Corey Jones can reel it in.
Good arm strength. Thompson put that ball 45-plus yards in the air. Second down, 10. Not much. Stumbling down goes Cordell Mitchell. Had 104 yards last week against Bowling Green. Phil Clark, number 95, with that tinted face mask jogging off.
Phil Clark had 124 tackles last year. He's getting a good start this year. Slashes in from his inside linebacker position. That's what you have to do on the counter play, is get some penetration and blow that play up before it gets started. -2 on that carry. Penn State better get something going. This place is a bit hostile on what they've done.
Under 8.5 minutes ago, up and out. This time the catch pulled down. Corey Jones covers up with a first down at the 36-yard line. Trey Clayton made the tackle, the left corner. 16-yard pickup.
Great protection by the offensive line. Little play fake to freeze the linebackers, but Thompson has all day to throw that long out route. Corey Jones, you better not drop 2 in a row, because they got plenty of guys they'll put in your place. Corey Jones makes a good catch, but great protection by the offensive line. Pittsburgh had an outside blitz coming. Thompson had all day to set his feet and throw the long ball.
1st and 10. Jonas Nastasi lines up to the near side. Play fake. Thompson, good protection, going deep over the middle, has a man. Nastasi at the 24. How about the play fake, Ed? Thompson sold it.
You always have to honor the play fake when you're playing Joe Paterno. Paterno's always going to set everything up by the run. Bottom of your screen, Joe DeStassi, number 21, runs right by the cornerback, number 31, Hank Poteet, and the safety is not home. If that ball has just a little more air underneath of it, that's touchdown, but a great catch by Joe DeStassi.
Double tight end, Huncho Brown, Tony Stewart, 1st and 10 from Pittsburgh's 24. They're going to take it outside. Mitchell flashes, stumbles, and is knocked down at the 18-yard line. Hornak was the first man to meet him, number 26.
You get the feeling Penn State starting to smell a little blood, maybe. Penn State has a 90% success rate this year in the red zone. They're inside the 20. They are now in the red zone. They hunkered down. They've got those big offensive linemen. They can pound it at you, and with Kevin Thompson, they can throw it over the top. Thompson's starting to show me some things. Throws a pretty good deep ball, under 3-1, but wants that starting role all to himself.
Mitchell hops and skips for a couple down to the 16-yard line. You know, and I would think for Joe Paterno, Rashard Casey, he must have much respect. We have yet to see Casey, but Kevin Thompson, very impressive. And if they rotate every quarter, you know, the question you have to ask is, what about rhythm?
Rhythm, it's more on the player than on the offense. So that player has to get himself ready to play, to go in. But one thing that I liked what Kevin Thompson told us when we were talking to him was, when I'm in the huddle, it's my huddle. When he's in the huddle, it's his huddle. If we don't look at it that way, neither of us will be successful.
So far, no problem. But again, Penn State 2-0 to start the season. Their best drive of the day. Big hole. Fumble. Do they call it? Zaramelli. Touchdown, Penn State. That will put another gray hair in the head of Joe Paterno, but a 6-pointer for Zaramelli.
Mike Zaramelli, the fullback, great zone blocking at the point of attack. He found a seam. He's fighting his way in. Ball's loose. You know why he got that ball? You know why he got that ball? He's the 2-time powerlifting state champion in Pennsylvania. You don't think he's got some strength. He's got to tuck that ball away. That was not much of a hit by number 22, Kareem Thompson.
Extra point is up and good, and Penn State on the road, up by 7. Well, Penn State has struck first. Zaramelli from 15 yards out. Poteet at the 1. Poteet slips and falls down at the 13-yard line. Let's go downstairs. John Dockery with more on Zaramelli. Doc.
Craig, if ever a family and a player fit a program, it's Mike Zaramelli, the fullback who just scored on that play. He's been going to Beaver Stadium since age 6, and the family cars, well, they just eke Penn State. Joe Paterno and Penn State. Even the family dog, guess what it's named? Nittany. The family went so far as even to consider dyeing Nittany's white coat blue, but then decided against it.
Boy,
back to you.
Nittany sure looks like a lion, doesn't it?
What a bite. Pittsburgh deep in their own territory at the 15, down 7. Lytle, the left-hander, swings and fires. Try to hit the man across on the slant. That's Terry Murphy. Anthony King on coverage, the right corner.
Quarterbacks coach for Pitt is Walt Harris, the head coach. We sat down with him. And Walt said, you know, a lot of guys claim they run their offense and things like that, but I actually coach the quarterbacks. I know what they know. I know what they're capable of, and it helps me call the plays for this offense because I'm so involved with the guys who call the signals.
Chris Schneider in at the fullback spot. They flip it to Brandon Williams, the freshman. Williams maybe a couple. Fleischhauer got the tackle. Say Williams, an interesting story, only a freshman out of New Kensington, PA. How about this? 10.2 yards per carry as a high school running back.
And you wonder why he was considered one of the top 10 running backs in the country. Another guy that you start to see the tide turn for Pittsburgh as a university. Brandon Williams, highly recruited by Penn State, decided to go to Pitt. What a nice snare for Walt Harris and his staff.
Big third down for Pittsburgh. 3rd and 7. Lytle He can run. Flags are down. Turns the corner. 20, 25, and a first down, but a flag is on the turf back inside the 10-yard line. Maurice Daniels, Mo Daniels, chased down Lytle.
Lytle had time to throw that ball. Flag was thrown late. In the area where you would suspect holding, and that's the call.
Now, you played center. You never held.
I almost cost the University of Washington a national championship.
Holding on the offense. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat third down.
Pitt can't afford mistakes like this deep in their own territory. See protection early. Tackle call. I mean, you might as well call tackle. The left guard, Jeff McCurley, number 60, falling down, tried to grab the leg. Here we go with a quick kick.
On third down at 20, Pitt pulling a little surprise. Penn State not ready for the quick kick, and a good bounce, and it's still rolling. Rolling inside the 30, 28. They are milking it to the 27-yard line.
Back to the 28-yard line of Penn State.
Well, strap yourself in. The new season of Jag is about to take off. See why Jag is the fastest growing drama on television. Get ready for all new Jag premieres Tuesday on CBS.
You know, I've never been a big fan of the quick kick. It's third down. You can still throw it down the field. Who knows? Get a first down. It was 3rd and 20, 22, but I still think you have to go for it. Never been a fan of kicking it down, although I know this is a field position game. You're down 7. The Nittany Lions are starting to smell blood a little bit. Their offense is starting to click. They're able to run the ball on you. Just wasn't a fan of that call.
We go downstairs, and John Dockery.
Ed, I would have to disagree with you, especially a team who feels that they don't have the talent to stay with Penn State. I think it was a good play, 3rd and 20. They might have been in a hole, so they kick it away. They preserve 7-0, because if Pitt can keep it close into the second half, into the fourth quarter, they may be able to steal this game from a superior Penn State team.
I understand what John is saying, but as a player, I want my coaches to have confidence in me. We know that the Pitt coaches think maybe we're a little overmatched today, but as a player, I don't believe that. And if I'm at the University of Pittsburgh as a player, I'm saying, Coach, we got to go for it on 3rd and 20.
The great debate here in Pittsburgh.
Doc, we can finish that up after the game.
5:25 to go, first quarter. Penn State with the football and a 7-point lead. Nastasi, the motion man. Eric McCoo. Great downline pursuit. Pittsburgh, you start to feel maybe the momentum back after the 7-pointer.
Well, here's a page out of the playbook that we got to draw up earlier. All the big boys get out, pulling and blocking. This little scoot body. Wow. There was some holding going on. Number 41, Pete Simonian, getting his first action at defensive end. A transfer from Boston University. They mugged him. They almost ripped his jersey off. Great run support from Kareem Thompson, the linebacker, though, to come up and make that tackle.
Thompson, a former running back turned linebacker, and he doesn't hesitate to hit. Downfield, nearly picked off through the hands of Poteet, the right corner.
You know, in talking to Larry Corey, the defensive coordinator for Pittsburgh, he said, we have to have effort on every play. We have to move, we have to shift, we have to blitz, because if this team finds us in one spot, they may hurt us. Well, they haven't really hurt them. They've had one sustained drive the entire game. Great job by Pittsburgh. They punt it down. I didn't like the call then. Now they get the ball back, maybe a little better field position. Maybe it'll work out to their advantage.
Pigeon,
quick kick.
Pigeon the kick. Stein back at his own 25. Stein, 5 yards, but the field is full of yellow hankies. 46-yard boot. Stein returned it to the 30, but flags are down.
Illegal block in the back is the call. Trey Creighton, number 7, I believe, is the guilty party.
Illegal block in the back.
Left side of your screen,
10-yard
right
penalty.
there. You saw the tail end.
First down.
You know, when you see a guy throw his hands up, like, I didn't do it, he usually did it, and that's what Trey Creighton was trying to do. Walt Harris has had trouble with his kicking game all ever since he got here last year, they had 2 or 3 kickoffs returned for a touchdown. Their first game against Villanova, they had an 89-yard kickoff return. They had for a touchdown. They had a 48-yard fake punt run in for a touchdown. And now they're going to back themselves up again. And they're right back in the same field position they were in when they did the quick kick on their last possession. So I still may come out on the right side of this argument, is what I'm trying to say.
We'll continue this debate. 4:29 left first quarter. Penn State with a 7-point lead. Lytle steps up, sidearms it, sideline catch, skips out of a tackle, and a big reception to the 35-yard line. Latif Grimm last week had a sensational game against Villanova at 192 yards, 3 touchdowns.
The pressure is going to come again from Brad Scioli, the left defensive end, and Courtney Brown. They both meet at the quarterback. He hurt himself, it looked like a little on that play, but there's Terry Murphy. Wow, what a great, Latif Grimm, who had a huge game last week. What a nice addition to this offense, a junior college transfer.
Throwing again. Catch. 49-yard line. Up, climbing the ladder, at least 3 rungs was Terry Murphy. I think the shoulder is fine.
It didn't really show any bad effects on that play. When we met with Matt Lytle yesterday, so what are some of your strengths as quarterback? First thing he said is, I got a strong arm. He showed it there. That's a 14-yard out route. That is a long ball to throw across the field, and Lytle got it there on a string.
Terry Murphy bagged groceries. It's a great story for a year and a half. He said, I better get to college. It's a good thing he did.
That'll teach you want to play football instead.
Pitt on the move at their own 48 from the eye. Slant, tough pass. Flags are down. Boy, Lytle really had to thread the needle. It was Latif Grimm again on the far side.
Believe they're going to get David Macklin on the hold. He was the one, well, you can see in his face that's who they got, was David Macklin on the hold. They ran the quick slant route, a little late to it by Lytle.
10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Watch the right side of your screen. Right as it comes into the screen, I believe you're going to see number 27. He's got a hold of Latif Grimm. You couldn't quite see it, but the official was there. Quick slant route. David Macklin was beat inside, so he grabbed a hold of Grimm's jersey. Nice drive by Pittsburgh. They're starting to get some offensive flow, and the whole reason is that man right there, Matt Lytle. He's putting together a really good first half.
Had 349 yards 2 weeks ago against Villanova. Steps, fires back, dumps it off, has a man. Fumbled and recovered by Kenny Ketchen. James Boyd caused the fumble, and make no mistake about it, Penn State and Pitt, they're hitting each other.
Chris Schneider, the fullback, trying to get the extra yards. He's going to take a great shot. Anthony King and number 6, James Boyd, puts his helmet right on the ball, but Chris Schneider is very happy that teammate Kenny Ketchen was there, Johnny on the spot, because he got Chris Schneider off the schneid, so to speak. You don't want to go back to the huddle after losing a fumble after a great game like that.
Those are numbers on Lytle, 5 of 8, 77 yards here in the opening quarter, under 3 minutes to play. Penn State by 7. 2 seconds on the play clock. Lytle steps, far side up the ladder and down. Incomplete the call. Grimm, the intended receiver. Anthony King on the cover man, number 19, the right corner. They call him Hit King. He will hit you. He's got that extra chin strap padded, just to make sure you can take the concussion of a hit.
There's another guy with that incredible speed we've been talking about. 10.48 100-meter in high school. That is moving. Matt Lytle, I'm starting to notice his feet. Again, he's starting to watch that blitz a little too much. You see his feet that time kind of stutter-stepped in his drop. He's got to take his 3 to 5, 7 step drop. Just get there and feel the rush. Don't look at it.
Third down, 3 from the eye. Penn State on the blitz. Lytle on the rollout. Late pitch. Big yards. Barlow breaks a tackle inside the 25 to the 21-yard line. Anthony King got him around the shoe tops, but a big option play by Lytle.
Great job by Lytle, hanging onto the ball to the last possible minute. Barlow takes the ball late. Barlow was a guy that he was going to be benched if he didn't start working a little harder in practice, and there he works extra hard for another 3 yards. Had 145 all-purpose yards in their first game, and believe me, that 12th man here at Pittsburgh, all those students, they're liking what they're seeing on offense for Pittsburgh.
56,000 plus and about 12,000 students in the stands today. The 12th man indeed playing a factor here in the early going. Looks like a busted play. Lytle just had a lay on it. He'll lose 2. Let's take it to New York. Tim Brando with a College Football Today update. Timmy?
Young Kent passing game. Had never kicked a field goal in his collegiate career. Scott Yearwood had been injured. This is his 3rd try. Baylor blocks it. A huge win for Dave Roberts, former head coach at Northeast Louisiana and assistant to Lou Holtz at Notre Dame.
North Carolina State had 2 tries to win that ball game. Couldn't win it. It's an amazing turnaround from last week's high of beating number 2 Florida State and now losing to Baylor. What a great win for the Baylor program.
2nd down, 13. Lytle has room. Flags are down across the field. Picked off at the 5. Ascari Adams, the free safety.
Offense penalty is declined. 1st down, Penn State.
Nothing but a tip drill. Every team in America, all the way down to Pee Wee football for their defensive backs, does the tip drill. Lytle running for his life, buys himself good time. That was a nice scramble by Lytle. And there's Ascari Adams. He's very lucky. Christmas comes early, I guess, in the state of Pennsylvania. Pretty good protection early on. There's LeVar Arrington coming from the outside, and Lytle buys himself time, throws back across the field. What a great job by number 24, the free safety, Sean Lee. Got in the lane. Lytle can't believe it. He had a great drive going, and now he's got to watch the guys in white come back on the field.
That was a magnificent drive. Double tight end for Penn State. They're going to try to just open up a little passing room for Kevin Thompson. Saramelli, the fullback, 233-pounder, a junior from Allentown, PA.
Wouldn't be surprised if Joe Paterno would be happy to run some time off the clock. I think he's had enough of seeing Matt Lytle run around and make some plays. So let's just start giving it to the big fullbacks and let the big guys up front go to work for Penn State. I mean, really, what has Penn State always done? Always been able to run the ball. Paterno might have grabbed Frank Gammon and said, "Hey, look, I don't know the numbers on those armbands for the quarterbacks, but go to the running section for a while."
Now let's run the 40s through 50s. Not much for Mitchell. Now you talked about the great tradition at running back. And you got Franco, Cappelletti, Kajana Carter, Dozier, Lydell Mitchell, Curtis Enos, Kurt Warner. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on.
And Cordell Mitchell, number 32, is one of those guys. When we talked to Frank Ganner, the offensive coordinator, said he may not have the power of those guys that you just mentioned, but he may be the fastest back that they've had at Penn State in a long, long time. He's been flat on.
Final seconds ticking down, first quarter. They'll get the play off. Thompson goes up top to his tight end, Tony Stewart, at the 32-yard line. Hank Poteet flipped a hit on him. And that's going to end the first quarter with the score. Penn State 7, Pittsburgh nothing. We'll return to Pitt right after this message and a word from your local station. Pittsburgh, Penn State with a 7-0 lead thanks to a touchdown run by Mike Saramelli. Penn State with the football, first down from the 32. Swing it inside, nicely read by Pitt's defense. Trey Creighton said, "Hey, don't fool with me."
Trey Creighton was man-to-man on the receiver. Chaffee Field. So right away he sees the screen set up, and when you're man-to-man, you just go follow that guy. It's a -8 play. Great job by Trey Creighton. Remember, he had that penalty on the punt return that backed Pittsburgh up on that drive a few minutes ago. He's making up for it. Great read by Creighton, though. When you're man-to-man and your guy backs off the line, you got to go get him because you know that screen is coming to your side.
Okay, a big day for Creighton. Engagement party after the game.
I think he's nervous.
Oh, not right now. He's not. Pitt clogs up the middle. And Ed, here you go. Let's try you out today. Here's our Aflax trivia question. Last week, Joe Paterno won his 300th game against Bowling Green. Who did he beat for win number 1? We'll let you just kind of sit on it, think about it.
The scary part is that was 1966.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thought of then.
You got a Penn State media guy. Look at it, son. Third down, play action. Deep ball. And overthrown by Thompson. He had a man, but that ball floated away. Sam Crenshaw. And again, Trey Creighton on coverage.
Crenshaw had a step on Creighton there, but Thompson makes a mistake that he'll get teased by the other quarterbacks. You do not throw the sideline pass out of bounds. It's really tough to complete a ball that's 4 yards out of bounds, unless the guy's 7'8", can reach over and catch that ball.
Pigeon back to punt at his own 11. Stein, good hanger, fair catch at the 25. And that's where Pittsburgh will start their first series of the second quarter. The Panthers down 7. We'll be back.
Quit hogging the nuts.
I'm not.
R2.
Not.
Animal. It's a beaver. Give him a cashew.
No. Beavers don't like nuts.
Everyone loves Planters nuts. Fresh roasted taste, and they're cholesterol free.
Oh, he's good.
He's very good.
Planters, relax, go nuts.
Well, look at you.
Me.
You are one delicious-looking pizza.
Thanks a lot.
And there's only one thing that would make you an even better pizza.
What's that?
If you were me.
Funny.
Get 2 Little Caesars pizzas with 3 toppings for just $10.99.
Pizza.
Investing is about to change forever. Introducing the new E-Trade, the #1 rated place to invest online, now open free to the public with 10 times more research, more tools, more power, free real-time quotes. Still from just $14.95 a trade, it's the hot new place to invest online or on Earth. E-Trade, someday we'll all invest this way.
Epic movie making. Newsweek. Spectacular and timeless. Rex Reed. Fantastic offer. Sprint. Switch to Sprint, and Titanic on video cassette is yours. Titanic. A classic tale you're free to watch anytime you want. Switch to the best long distance, and we'll give you a certificate for the best movie of the year. Call 1-800-PIN-DROP for details.
CBS Sportsline's got you covered. For the breaking news, scores, and stats, fire up the best sports coverage on the net. CBS.sportsline.com.
The Battle of Pennsylvania, and Penn State with a 7-0 lead. Early minutes here in the second quarter. 1st and 10, Pittsburgh from their own 25, and not much. Fumble.
Those are the types of things when you're Pittsburgh, you're playing well. You're down 7-0 in the second quarter. You cannot do. You cannot make plays like this. You can't turn the ball over deep in your own territory.
Hey, was that a late whistle?
No, they let the play go because of the fumble. Oh, that's awful close, Greg. That is awful close to see if his knee was down. That's a shame if that's a missed call. Pittsburgh fighting for their lives out here. Awfully close call, but again, can't have mistakes like that deep in your own territory if you're Pittsburgh. You're outmanned by Penn State. Pittsburgh, of course, in their rebuilding phase here in the late 90s. You just can't turn the ball over like that in your own territory.
Back-to-back turnovers. An interception and now a fumble. Rashard Casey is now under center. Good play fake. Throws a dart to the flat. Boy, what a stick. Saramelli was met by Hornak, the strong safety. They call him the most aggressive DB. I will not argue.
Rashard Casey into the game. They wanted to get him in at the beginning of the second quarter, but when the quarter ended, the first quarter ended, Kevin Thompson was in the middle of a drive. They're not going to pull Rashard Casey out in the middle of a drive. That's why you see, excuse me, you're not going to pull Kevin Thompson to put Rashard Casey in. That's why you see him look for Casey to pull it down, run a little bit. He's an incredible athlete. Has a 37-inch vertical jump. When he tucks that ball, he's as fast as a lot of the running backs that they have at Penn State.
Straight up the middle, a couple to the 16-yard line. Our Aflax trivia question. Last week, Paterno won his 300th game against Bowling Green. Whom did he beat for number 1? The answer, Maryland. We're going to take you back at 1966, September 17th.
That was his first year as a head coach, but he actually got to campus in 1950. It's almost scary. You sat with him last night, 71 years old. I would say, if you wouldn't have told me his age, mid-50s.
Oh, yeah.
He's amazing.
Walks many miles a day, watches his diet.
Keeps his mind fresh and motivated, though. I think that's the key.
Crenshaw in motion. Going up top is Casey. Incomplete in the end zone. Dinkins and Clayton back on double coverage. Pittsburgh's defense, when they have to, they continue to rise up and make big plays and try to slow down the tempo for Penn State.
Really impressed with this Pitt defense. Larry Coyer, the defensive coordinator, said, look, we have to fly around. We have to have all-out effort the whole game. And he said, you know what? If we fly around and have all-out effort, who knows what can happen. And when you turn the ball over, when Pittsburgh turns the ball over and they go for a three-point try, you've won on defense. Great job by the Panthers.
34-yard attempt. Up and good from 34. So Penn State builds a 10-point lead. 11:47 to go in the half. $11:51 to play first half, and Penn State leading Pittsburgh at Pitt Stadium by 10. Poteet and Williams back to receive for the Pitt Panthers.
Pitt needs to just settle down a little bit on offense. They've been able to move the ball. They're just killing themselves. They're their own worst enemy by making mistakes in their own territory when they're moving the ball with the fumbles and the penalties. Settle down. They've been able to move the ball. They need to get something on the board here in the second quarter.
Good kick, but no return. 8 yards deep. Poteet takes the knee. Well, last year, Florida's Tony George turned the tide down in the swamp. This year, T. Martin looks to do something that Peyton Manning never could. That's beat the Gators. Tonight, it's NASDAQ College Football as number 2 Florida visits 6th-ranked Tennessee right here on CBS.
If you haven't seen Tennessee play this year, tune in, because it's amazing what Philip Fulmer and his staff down at Tennessee does. Every time they get a quarterback, they tailor-make the offense for their quarterback. T. Martin, obviously, very different than Peyton Manning. You'll see a lot of rollouts, some quarterback draws, a lot of fun to watch.
Life goes on after Peyton.
Yes, it does. And when you're number 6 in the country, it goes on rather well.
Pitt at their own 19. Swing pass complete, but not much. Derek Fox made the hit.
Juan Williams, the tight end, out in the flat, has his first action of the season. Had a knee injury, did not play against Villanova. The only thing you worry about when a guy comes back for his first game is his conditioning. Obviously, the doctors would not let him play were he not ready. Juan getting his first action, had 2 weeks to heal up a little better for this game, but conditioning could be a factor, approaching 100 degrees down on that turf.
Well, he was riding the bike Thursday, trying to get those legs in shape. Trying to throw the end slant. McMullen, the tight end, through his hands.
You can see the anger in Matt Lytle's face. That pass was not intended for the tight end. They were running a slant route. The tight end released too early. Lytle said, come on, man, you got to let that one go. I got the slant route wide open for the first down. You know what, though? If I'm playing tight end, the ball's coming my way, I'm going to reach up and try to catch it, too. Can't be real mad at McMullen.
3rd down 10. Lytle steps and fires, connects at the 30, 31, spins out a tackle to the 36. Julius Dixon. His first catch of 98 from Oceanside, California. Aaron Gatton, the outside linebacker, finally
Jerry
wrapped him up.
Sandusky must have so much confidence in those defensive ends. He only rushes 3 men. Good job by the offensive line to see it, fan out, give help on Scioli and Brown, and that gives plenty of time for Lytle to find Julius Dixon underneath. He fights for the extra yardage. Lytle has all day. See how he's able to set his speed. He was more confident in the pocket. That's the type of protection that they need to give him.
Bo Jew, the right corner, had a good look, but just missed him. Lytle on a knee at the 31. That's a big loss of 6, maybe 7. Courtney Brown, the left end, made the tackle.
Ricky Mendenhall, the fullback, goes to the right side of your screen and just gets absolutely plowed over by number 96, Bob Jones. Shucks him to the ground. Excuse me, that's 86, Courtney Brown. Great job by Brown just to throw Mendenhall. That's not easy duty. Mendenhall goes 230 pounds, but this Brown, I tell you, he's a player's first team All Big Ten last year with a broken thumb. Had that thumb in a cast the entire season, still came up with 12 sacks.
3 wideouts, 2nd and 16, nearly picked and caught at the 36. Now, we were talking during break, the bounces and the fumbles have all gone Penn State's way. First break of the day for Pittsburgh.
Either Lateef Grimm ran the wrong route or Matt Lytle threw it to the wrong spot. No, he was just late throwing the ball. Grimm was in the right spot, but number 4, Derek Fox, was right there, the hero. He plays a strong safety, read that perfectly, came up from that strong safety spot, and tell you what, Fox reels that in. It's 17-0 Penn State real quick.
3rd down and 10 from the 35. Lytle can tuck and run. Has a little lane, and he's going to be about 3 yards short of the first down at the 44-yard line. So a 4th down for Pitt. Mo Daniels made the tackle.
Matt Lytle needs to realize that it's 3rd and 9 and chances of getting a first down by running it are slim and none. He had time in that pocket. He needs to settle down. The big plays are down the field. Remember, it's been almost a year since he's been the starting quarterback here at Pittsburgh. So he's still trying to figure some things out, maybe shake the rust off.
The Bolt with a good hanger. Branch lets it bounce. And Pitt will down it at the 31-yard line. So Pittsburgh unable to find the end zone. Penn State leads by 10. We'll be back. Sold out Pitt Stadium, Penn State by 10. For the past 70 years, adults and children have watched the Goodyear blimps hovering over spectacular events. Today, it's the Spirit of Akron, carrying on that proud Goodyear tradition. Oh, I'd give for just a quick 10-minute ride.
Well, you got to wonder, those guys might be getting a little nervous. There are some thunder clouds headed our way. It looks like they may be headed back to Akron real quick.
Total yards. Surprise you?
I knew Pittsburgh had been moving the ball. They just keep making too many mistakes.
Rashard Casey remains the quarterback. He can run. Nifty move. Saves a big loss to the 35. A pickup of 3. Rashard Casey, the story, Ed, is great arm, great ability. Paterno says this. He just needs some luck, and he needs to run with the first-team front offensive line.
When we were talking to Fran Gander, the offensive coordinator, he said, you know, because of the heat in the first 2 games, he's always been out there with the 2nd unit offensive line, tight ends, and backs. There have been times where he's turned around and thought he'd see a running back and didn't see one because the guys were just riding up incorrectly. But Gander knows he's got to get Casey in there with his first unit to really see what he can do with the best players.
Double tight end. Boy, big block, and Aaron Harris. He wanted to play last week, reconstructed right knee, ACL in his first time back.
And you can hear the Penn State faithful here, very excited to have Aaron Harris back. He burst onto the scene last year, had a great year until in the middle of October. They're playing Minnesota. As a matter of fact, it was 11 months ago yesterday that he blew out his right ACL against Minnesota. He's been fighting to get back, had a great year last year, over 600 yards before he got hurt. And they need him to be back and healthy because, remember, in 2 weeks, they play Ohio State, the #1 team in the country, on the road, and you need a big bruising back in the horseshoe.
Harris picks up the first down. Harris again. Nice little push off the knee and picks up a couple more to the 46-yard line. Well, when it comes to comedy, he rules. Kevin James stars in the show the TV Guide picked as one of its fall favorites, and it's got Jerry Stiller. The King of Queens premieres Monday at 8:30, 7:30 Central, right after Cosby on CBS.
It's followed by the female version of Kings.
Doubleheader. Eric McCoo checks in the Penn State backfield. I'd say Penn State is loaded in that backfield. McCoo, Omar Easy we have not seen. Mitchell. Aaron Harris is back. And Eric McCoo, the freshman, picks up a Penn State first down.
Talk about being loaded. Then they go out and find this true freshman out of Red Bank, New Jersey, Eric McCoo. The only thing he did on his first carry in college was go 41 yards against Southern Miss. A smaller guy than they're used to at Penn State, 5'10", 195 pounds. Frank Gainer, the offensive coordinator, says he packs those pounds on tight, and he runs a lot harder than his stature would make you think.
Lou McCoo fumbled, picked up. Casey, heads up play. Heads up. But again, the freshman lost the handle, nearly cost Penn State. It'll be second down 10. Cashubaro back there in the backfield.
And this goes back to what we talked about, that Rashard Casey has had to play with guys who don't really know the offense. That time, Eric McCoo went to the wrong side. He went to the wrong hole. McCoo, number 8, goes to the right to the 2 hole, and Casey had turned around to go to the left, and they run into each other as Casey tries to find him behind him. But again, heads up play by Casey to at least get the ball back. Who cares about the yardage? Just get it back.
Out goes McCoo. Saramelli in along with Aaron Harris. Casey, play fake, throws. Incomplete. Saramelli says, nope, I got it, but incomplete. That's one of those, you know, let me hide it and scoop it and tell you I have it, but I really didn't catch it.
You could see it from up here that it bounced about 4 yards in front of him. This isn't stickball. You're not allowed to hit it after it hits the ground. Lands on the ball. I guess it didn't hit that far. That was actually a nice try by Saramelli. There you see the arm of Casey. That's why they're so excited about him. No one knew how hard Rashard Casey could throw the ball, but Joe Paterno said Casey will do just that because he has such a snap on the ball, tends to throw it at people's feet.
Big defensive play for Pitt, 3rd and 11. Casey pumps and then falls. It was Marlon Young, a right end, putting the pressure on. A 6-yard loss, and that brings up a 4th down for Penn State.
Marlon Young led the Panthers last year with 5.5 sacks at 97.
Pigeon the kick, Stein, and they're going to down it in the end zone. So when we come back, Pitt will be back on offense, down by 10.
At a time when computer companies were building walls of incompatibility, one company envisioned a world without boundaries. They began by building high-powered workstations. Soon their servers became the backbone of the internet and corporate networks. Today, Sun Microsystems has created technology linking all things electronic. Where do you find companies whose brilliance lights the way? Exactly. NASDAQ.com.
Up first in the Bud Light battle of the ladies' bands, the Fishmen! Okay, thank you, ladies. Next up, the Dream Dates! Wow, great. And finally...
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
I'm torn. They're all pretty good.
An altar boy is accused of killing an archbishop.
A victim in this case is my client.
Richard Gere.
I saw the tape!
The network television premiere, Primal Fear, CBS Tuesday.
5:10 remaining first half here in Pittsburgh. Some rainstorms starting to kind of move across Pitt Stadium. Craig Bullerjack, Ed Cunningham, John Dockery's around this incredible sellout crowd. You surprised? 25-point spread to start this game for Penn State, but Pitt's hanging in there.
I'm not surprised by Pitt's effort. They have played hard, and we knew talking to them that they were going to come out and play hard. And they said, hey, if we play hard, who knows what can happen.
Let's go downstairs and Doc, John.
Craig, you hit on a good point. It's clouding up here. There may be some rain, and if it cools down, it would certainly help Pitt because heat, and when it's close to 100 degrees here at the start of the game, certainly favors Penn State. They're deeper. They have 2 and 3 players at each position. They're talented. And as you've seen, there's been a lot more substitution for the white uniform team, Penn State, than for Pitt. So as this game goes on, Pitt will wear down.
Great point by Doc, because Pitt on the offensive line especially very thin. If they lose one guy, they're in trouble. If it starts to cool down, this could really help them on offense.
Mendenhall, the fullback. Not much. Fleischauer made the tackle. Mendenhall, a redshirt freshman. You mentioned his size, a 6 foot, just over 230.
You notice Pitt is taking their time on offense, and I think that's part of their plan today. They've been running the play clock down to 3, 4, even sometimes 2 and 1 seconds before they call for the snap. And Guarantee Lido was told, stay on the field as long as possible to give your defense some rest, and let's try to control the clock a little bit.
Penn State showing blitz, 3rd down and 2. Lido tucks and runs, slides for the first down at the 31-yard line. Well, tomorrow the NFL on CBS, a doubleheader for you. Check out Pittsburgh, Miami. Of course, Dan Marino has some Pitt ties. And then Denver and Oakland and Baltimore and Jacksonville will wrap up the doubleheader day on CBS.
Well, you got to like Jacksonville against Baltimore. Just see if they'll keep running that football like Jacksonville has. Kind of not true to their form. They've always thrown it a lot.
1st and 10, Pittsburgh at their 31-yard line, I formation. Lytle option. Well, he took a hit, but what a great pitch out. 1st down and maybe a yard more at the 42. Brandon Williams showing some flashes of what a lot of folks thought a little tough Tony Dorsett.
Walt Harris calls all the plays for the Pitt offense. Runs the West Coast offense, so you might ask, what's he doing letting his quarterback get killed running an option? I mean, he gets hit right in the mouth. Good job by Lytle. But the reason he's doing it, you've got to keep the defense honest. They have to respect that. And when you have a guy like Brandon Williams, a true freshman with that speed, he can get to that corner, pick up 10, 12 yards. Man, that defense, they've got to contain on the outside.
Other way, they went left the first time, right, back on his feet. Oh, what a run to the 40-yard line. Brandon Williams and his crowd roaring approval. Ascari Adams, a free safety, made the tackle.
Every great offensive coach I have ever played for does one thing. If something works, they go back to it the next play or very soon after. And the theory is, look, you have to stop it or I'm going to keep calling it. There's 2 plays. There's almost 30 yards of offense. I wouldn't be surprised if they run another option to the other side. Great job by Walt Harris and his offensive staff. I guarantee you Penn State did not think they were going to see the option coming into Pitt Stadium today.
Well, Brandon Williams, the first true freshman to start at the tailback since Tony Dorsett back in 1973. Ed, that's 25 years ago.
He's an awfully good one. Again, we talked about the recruiting wars in Pennsylvania. Brandon Williams out of New Kensington, PA.
You'll ever wonder why everybody loves Raymond? Well, Entertainment Weekly has the answer. They've called it a darn near perfect sitcom. A laugh a minute funny. Find out for yourself when the new season of Raymond begins Monday at 9, 8 Central on CBS.
Got a darn near perfect drive right now by Pitt. Moving it right down the field. They only had 12 yards rushing in the first quarter. They've gone to the rush a little more here in the second quarter. Starting to move it right down the field. The good thing for Pittsburgh is they're moving towards that 12th man. Where they are headed is where that Section 12 is with all the students. They sold 11,000 tickets to the students. There's 11,000 undergraduate students at the University of Pittsburgh. It's pretty impressive.
Very
These
impressive.
students are finally behind this team. There it is, Section 12.
We walked the stadium a little bit. We looked up. Okay, there's Section 12. There's Section 12. There are 7 Section 12s.
You know, with my luck, if I was a student here, I'd meet a girl at a party the night before. Hey, tomorrow, meet me at the game. Where? Section 12.
You'd never find it.
No, I think as usual, I'd be blown off again. You can see it. He's got to get his students quiet. Talk to him next week in geography, Matt. Tell him they got to quiet down when you're coming towards that end zone.
3 wide receivers. Play clock down to 2, down to 1. Just got to snap off. Lytle on the rollout. Directing traffic, tries to thread the needle, and incomplete. Down at the 15-yard line. He was looking for Grimm, his big play man, 2 weeks ago against Villanova. Adams, the free safety, right there, though, on his back hip.
Lytle trying to make things happen, moving out of the pocket, running parallel to the line of scrimmage. Seems to be settling down. The one interception was just a great play by Sean Lee, the free safety. Tried to make something happen deep in their territory. Again, those are the type of mistakes when you're Pittsburgh that kill you, but otherwise statistics, he's having a fairly good day. Just has finally maybe settled down a little bit in the pocket.
Good look from behind Lytle after a one-play rest. The freshman Brandon Williams back into the tailback spot. Lytle fires and guns. Flags are down at the 31-yard line in the hands of Kenny Ketchen. But it looked like David Macklin may have been over his back, and flags are down.
David Macklin, maybe the best athlete in the defensive backfield. The bottom right of your screen, you're going to see him on the coverage. Gets there just a little early. The left hand was on the back of Kenny Ketchen. That's why the flag was thrown. If he sees him making any contact and that ball is in the air, defensive backs in college are allowed to make contact with receivers until the ball is in the air. That ball was in the air, hand on the back. Big break for Pittsburgh, and it's nice to hear that crowd. Joe Paterno knows this Pitt team has all the help from the university. Everybody's behind him, and you can start hearing that crowd really getting into it.
Pitt knocking on the door. They did so in the first quarter, but a interception cost them. They go up and incomplete. Boy, nearly picked off by Macklin, the left corner. The intended receiver was Kenny Ketchen.
Penn State again comes on the blitz, and Matt Lytle puts his eyes down, gets a little flustered in the pocket, throws off his back foot, and there is Brad Scioli. That was not bad blocking by hands of number 76. Lytle has got to settle down in the pocket, stop drifting backwards. The further you drift back, a more of a straight line Brad Scioli and Courtney Brown will have at you. And trust me, those guys have their ears laid back. Matt, you got to settle down in the pocket. You can't continue to drift back. It's tough enough for Ryan Hansen and Brown, the left tackle, to block those guys. Don't make it any harder.
Penn State showing blitz. They try to slide Williams up the middle. Couple 3 yards for Williams at the 27. Bob Jones, the nose tackle, 96, made the hit. Jones, one of those wide bodies at 6'5", 275. You know, Scioli, who made that tackle before, reading his bio is amazing. I mean, he was recruited to play linebacker. He played QB, however, in high school. Then he played tight end, and now they reversed him back to right end on the defensive side.
And he's happy to be back on that defensive end spot. He said, he told his coaches, I want to be back.
3rd down. Lytle feeling pressure over the middle, incomplete. Good coverage by Penn State. Anthony King right on the track of Kenny Ketchen.
Kenny Ketchen is an amazing story. Was in Desert Storm. He is a veteran of an American war. Hadn't played football until 1996 when he went to Chaffee Junior College, played wide receiver, came here. He's starting at wide receiver his first year at the Division I level. Great story. Before he went to junior college, didn't have enough money to get his car fixed. It didn't have a reverse gear. Used to have to stick his foot out to back his car up, a la Fred Flintstone.
Was it left or right, you know? Ruzilla, field goal attempt. 45-yarder, splits it. Pitt on the board. It's 10-3. We'll be back. 1:31 to go before halftime, and Pitt on the board. Ruzilla from 45 yards out. Coming up on the college football today, AXA and Equitable halftime report. Timmy Brando, Craig James, and the coach Lou Holtz will get you caught up on all the scores and highlights on a big day in college football across the country. That's coming up at halftime. Short kick, and Penn State will start at the 30 with 1:26 before halftime. Tikas Pettigrew ran it back to the 30. All right, Ed. Former player, almost halftime. You get the big field goal. You break the drought of the first half. It's a 7-point game.
Hopefully the defense can take some of that momentum that the offense just gave them. The defense has actually played very well for Pittsburgh in this first half. The difference has been the mistakes, the fumbles, the bad plays on special teams. But this defense has played very, very well. Larry Coyer, the defensive coordinator, has to be very pleased with the effort. These guys have flown around. They've moved their fronts. They've blitzed. But the hustle has been there from the opening kick.
Now Kevin Thompson is back in at the quarterback spot. He hands it off Cordell Mitchell. Little bread and butter off left tackle. It pick up big yards to the 8. And the clock will run with 1:16, 1:15 remaining.
Penn State has 2 timeouts left, but I'm a little surprised that they're not. They're in the hurry up. They're not going to huddle, but I'm a little surprised that they're going to run the ball.
Thompson throws. Tough pass to the far sideline. Pulls it down at the 48. Oh, what a nice catch by Shafi Fields, a senior from Philadelphia.
There you go, saving your timeouts if you're Penn State. Throw those out routes. Fairly safe ball to throw if it gets there in a hurry. If you throw it to the outside of the receiver like Thompson did there, not much of a chance of an interception.
Boy, lightning just made a nice flash across Pitt Stadium.
I think the captain of the Blink is getting a bit nervous up there.
He may have to land that thing. Fields again, and he is chased out of bounds to the 50. A pickup of 2. That stops the clock.
Great job by Shafi Fields. Caught the ball, turned around, assessed what he was doing, and got right out of bounds. It does not look very good behind this stadium.
You know, talking to some of the fans around Pittsburgh, they always expect a messy kind of game. Looks like maybe the wish is coming true.
One problem is it usually doesn't get very messy on AstroTurf, except for the blood from all the turf burns.
That's right.
There's not going to be any mud or any dirt flying around today.
Second down, Thompson again to the short side of the field, in and out of the hands, incomplete of Sammy Crenshaw, sophomore from Youngstown, Ohio. That's one of those simple things of you got to catch it before you run upfield.
And you know, you can look at Sam Crenshaw and say, come on, you got to do that. But, you know, there's guys that do that every day in the NFL, in college, at every level of football. You're so excited. Here comes the ball. I'm going to make a big play. But if you don't lock it away, you can't do anything. It's like in golf when you pull your head to see how great your shot's going to be. Usually dribbles off the tee.
I do that many times. Third down, Thompson in the pocket going for the home run. Got a man. 2 yards. That's what it cost him between the incompletion and pay dirt. Corey Jones had his man beat by at least 4 yards.
Hank Poteet on the coverage. The deep ball thrown by Thompson just a little long because Corey Jones had Poteet beat. Thompson cannot be happy. that's one of those throws that makes you kind of sick. Oh, it just took a little bit off of his 6 points. Great job by Pittsburgh's defense to hold them off.
Pigeon, nice hang time. It's going to take a bounce in the end zone.
The Hunt carries into the end zone.
On the new CBS Monday, Brian Benben stars in an outrageous new comedy. TV Guy says Benben is hilarious. Find out why. Check out the series premiere on the Brian Benben Show this Monday at 9:30, 8:30 Central, only on CBS.
What an excellent job by Pittsburgh's defense. I mean, all day long they have stood up and been counted. Their offense turned over the ball deep in their own territory. They came out, held Penn State to a field goal. Really only one sustained drive all day by Penn State. Excellent job. And here comes the wind and the rain.
Lytle will cover up. Yeah, rain, some debris flying around. Pretty heavy wind above the stadium.
Now, although the cooler temperatures will help Pitt relies heavily on the pass, and if it gets too windy, that could have a big effect on their passing game in the second half.
As the wind blows, you hear the roar from Section 12, the 12th man, 11,000 strong in a sold-out Pitt Stadium. Penn State with a 10-3 lead. And now as Penn State reaches their locker room door, you can hear the 12th man with a
They've got to run
boos.
right under the student section here at University of Pittsburgh.
It's halftime, 10-3 Penn State. We go downstairs. John Dockery with the coach.
All right, guys, let's go.
Okay, Joe, I know you're anxious to get inside, but how would you describe the first half?
Oh, we're so sloppy offensively. We just uncoordinated, had a lot of good opportunities, overtook passes, kicked the ball around a couple of times. I think we're playing pretty good defense again. That option hurt us a little bit. We get that straightened out, but we're playing it. They're playing hard, spirited football, Pitt, and we got to just turn it up a notch.
Okay, good luck, Coach. Craig, back to you.
All right, thanks, Doc. Thanks, Joe. That's the end of the first half. Penn State leads 10-3. Timmy Brando, Craig James, and the coach, Lou Holtz, will be along with the College Football Today AXA and Equitable halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. Here in Pittsburgh, Penn State leads by 7. A major lightning and thunderstorm has rolled across Pitt Stadium. We'll come back with some thunderous stats in a minute.
You gotta go where you want, you gotta go do you what you want.
There's a better place for business, the network place. Sharp can take you there. People are connected, knowledge is shared, and Sharp's advanced digital document systems, the Imager series, speed the flow of ideas through the network, creating impressive documents and raising productivity to its peak.
You gotta go where you wanna go, do you what you want.
The network place. Sharp can take you there.
I think the most important feeding is the one that you start in the fall, so your lawn starts to look healthier in the spring, and consequently, you need Scott's Winterizer. When I put down Winterizer in the fall, it allows us to develop a good, strong root base, and it allows the lawn to endure the winter weather, and you get a real early greening. This grass is beautiful, thick, deep green. People will stop by and say, "How'd you do that?" Scott's Winterizer gives the grass a kickstart in the fall and makes it really look great in the spring.
11 Academy Awards, 4 Golden Globes, 1 amazing offer. Switch to Sprint, and Titanic on video cassette is yours. Titanic, a timeless tale you're free to watch anytime you want. Switch to the best long distance, and we'll give you a certificate for the best movie of the year. Call 1-800-PIN-DROP for details.
Every stomach needs a first aid kit for all those unexpected bites and burns and cuts and scrapes and spills and other stomach irritations. Pepto-Bismol is first aid for stomachs. As it coats, it relieves most any stomach problem, not just a few like these other leading medicines. Pepto-Bismol. In any emergency, it's first aid for heartburn, diarrhea, nausea, indigestion, and upset stomachs.
We will never, ever smoke up this house again. We are quitting with the patch.
Nicoderm CQ.
With the steps.
There's a lot to be said for steps.
While Nicotrol has only 1 step, Nicoderm CQ has 3, so you can step down your dose gradually the way doctors and pharmacists prefer.
Was this a great idea or what?
Nicoderm CQ, the power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to help you quit.
Pittsburgh trails Penn State at the half by 7. Just moments ago, our John Dockery had a chance to talk with Pitt head coach Walt Harris.
Coach, you have to feel good about the first half.
Well, we're behind. You know,
Okay.
We didn't come here to lose. We love the atmosphere. We can't be more excited about what our students are doing. We played hard the first half. We got to play harder in the second half. We got to play smarter. And who knows what will happen. Thank you, John.
That's what we heard all week long. They didn't know what could happen if they played hard. That was a happy coach because he got a great effort in the first half.
The 25-point spread before the start of the game. He's down 7. Yeah, he wants to win, but he has to feel good what's happening here at Pitt Stadium. Let's take a look at our halftime numbers brought to you by Coors Light. And just break it down. The score, it's 10-7. Obviously, Pitt very much in reach of what could be an upset in college football.
The thing that jumps off the screen to me is the time of possession. We saw in the first half, Pittsburgh was very happy to let the play clock run down to 3, 2, and even 1 second before they snapped the ball. They obviously wanted to keep their defense off the field. The only thing that hurt them was that turnover deep in their own territory. Pittsburgh has got to be very happy with their effort. I guarantee you Joe Paterno gave a tongue lashing to his team for their effort because they looked a little sloppy. Good on defense, a little sloppy on offense, but Walt Harris very happy with the effort.
As we look at Walt Harris, Joe Paterno told Doc, we've got to work. And I was surprised. He said we got to work on the option.
Isn't that amazing? They would not have thought that coming into today's game. But that's one of those things that just changed. As the game goes on, those are the things that you have to adjust to. And we'll see in the second half how Penn State adjusts to that option. Gained 30 to 35 yards on that option in the first half, did Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh gained momentum just before half as Ruzilla connected on a 45-yard field goal to cut the deficit down to 7. They'll have the ball as we start the third quarter. Poteet at the 5. Poteet at the 20. Poteet to the 27-yard line. Would have picked up 10, maybe 15 more, but a nice shoestring tackle by Matt Joyner. And you remember, Poteet, he's got that running back experience and some good feet.
You know, Hank Poteet wanted to go to Penn State. You know why he didn't go there? Because they wanted him to play defensive back. Well, he's playing defensive back at Pittsburgh. Things are working out pretty good for Hank. That's a more natural position for him. Has a chance to play on Sundays at that cornerback spot. He's a great athlete. Just showed it there.
23-yard return by Poteet. There's Lytle's numbers. 9 of 18, 108 yards, and the 1 interception in the first 30 minutes. Penn State showing blitz. Pitt will start on the ground. Nice little jitter step move and into the 50-yard line. Oh, what a run. Macklin made the tackle on Barlow, a 25-yard pickup.
You'd have asked me before the game, the weakest part of this Pitt team, it's the offensive line. Great blocking at the point of attack by them. They were moving bodies all over the place, and Kevin Barlow finishes it off. Again, Barlow goes 225 pounds. He's not going to go down. Look at him dodging those Penn State defenders. Macklin hanging on for dear life. Sean Lee, he's just dragging folks down the field.
Mendenhall off the left side, breaks a tackle at the 40. He's at the 30 and out of bounds inside the 25 at the 23. Brandon Short bumped him out, the middle linebacker.
A huge gaping hole on the left side of the line, the right side of your screen, just man-to-man blocking. Mac Morrison, the linebacker, number 31, ran himself right out of the play. Don't know what he saw out there. Possibly the pitch fake because of the option that they were so successful with early. Got scared of the option. Instead, they rip off a fullback dive for 26 yards.
Rushing yards. 2 plays. They've already surpassed their first half total. 51 yards here on this opening drive on the ground. Lytle in the pocket, throws to the flats. You got to catch that football. That's money. That's money in the bank, and it's dropped. Barlow.
Greg, I am totally down the middle on these games, but you know, I get angry when I watch plays like that. I looked out, I saw Kevin Barlow in the flat. Penn State failed to cover him. That was an easy touchdown. Kevin Barlow's got to make that tackle again. We go back. Penn State did it earlier. See him shaking his head, explaining to the coach. Yeah, coach just turned around. But I get angry when I see things like that because Pitt's fighting too hard to make those kind of mistakes. That is 6 points if he catches the ball.
Second down, 10, 2 wideouts. Backfield is split. Going back the other way, we saw it in practice. Williams is going to have to tuck and run, and he is just hammered down at the 36-yard line. Scioli really turned that play in, and then Courtney Brown put the hammer down.
You have a little toss out to the running back. Lytle's just going to toss it real quick to his running back. But watch Lytle come over the top into a pass pattern. Penn State is at home. Excuse me, just a quick handoff, but Penn State stays home on the backside of it, and that is why Brandon Williams had to tuck it down. We saw that play practiced over and over again Thursday at practice. Great job by Penn State being disciplined on the backside and picking up that quarterback running out of the backfield.
3rd down, 15 from the 27 of Penn State. Good protection. Complete. Grimm. Close to a 1st down at the 12, maybe the 13. Anthony King, the right corner. I like the poise, though, of Matt Lytle. And we saw him practicing Thursday and Friday, Ed. He just has a nice, tight spiral on the down and out. He can hit you.
It's tough to have a tight spiral when you get hit in the face like he gets hit here. I mean, he gets nailed. You can't see it at the end of the play, but good timing. Latif Bream threw it right out of the break. And here you're going to see the hit on Lytle. Drug into the turf. Those are the ones that hurt when you start to get your shoulders rolled under. You see the helmet all cockeyed there.
There's a timeout. 4th down when we come back. 10-3 Penn State. Drive by Matt Lytle, but yet Coach Walt Harris of Pittsburgh will choose a 30-yard field goal attempt by Ruzilla. Stein will hold at the 20. High snap, kick is up. 30-yarder, good. So Pitt trims the lead to 10-6. We'll be back. It is now 10-6 thanks to the foot of Ruzilla. He's connected on a 45-yarder just before half, and now from 30. And Ed Cunningham, nice drive put together by Lytle and company.
And I like the call by Walt Harris. They had 4th and 1. It was decision time. Get the points on the board. It'd be a little depressing for the offense to drive all the way down there and come away empty-handed if you don't make the 4th down.
Pettigrew and Crenshaw back to receive the kick. Crenshaw at the 9. Crenshaw at the 20 and falls forward to the 27-yard line. That's where Penn State will start up their first series of the 3rd quarter. We want to welcome Jim Delaney, the commissioner of the Big Ten, in the booth with us. And Jim, it's been an exciting week for Big Ten football, especially a man named Joe Paterno picks up win number 300.
That was a great milestone. You know, Joe's a great football coach, but probably a better educator and sportsman. So we were really pleased for him.
The tears flowed after the 300th win.
Well, you know, I saw Dean Smith break the record 2 years ago, and Joe breaking, you know, the 300 mark, and it's got to have a lot of memories and a lot of meaning for these guys, so they show a little emotion when it happens.
Jim, when they came in 92 Penn State into the Big Ten, what did you think Joe Paterno was going to bring, and has he been successful in doing that for your conference?
Well, he's been a successful leader of a great program, number one, but from my perspective, I don't think there's been a bigger advocate for our conference than Joe Paterno since Penn State joined our league, and he's been a great exemplar for support of college football and intercollegiate athletics generally. I know that he's made a terrific contribution in a short time.
It's good to have around, isn't it?
Yeah, he's a terrific man.
Jim Delaney, commissioner of the Big Ten, thanks so much for your time. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
All right.
Jim, appreciate it.
Well, we check out at the Big Ten, Purdue, Joe Tiller and company. An Ohio State, could that be? 3rd quarter, Missouri.
Corby Jones, look out. A couple guys from Ohio State were popping off earlier in the week about how they were going to go after Corby Jones. They may be showing him a thing or two there at Ohio State.
Late game tonight, Iowa and Arizona. Here it is 10-6. Penn State ranked 8th in the country, leading the Pitt Panthers by 4. On the ground. Mitchell, no. Marlon Young led the charge.
Let's not forget that Pittsburgh had 2 weeks to prepare for this game, and it is showing up in everything they're doing. They've worked on a couple of different schemes, but the one thing that they have done is gotten these guys to play hard today.
Another fine kick by Pigeon, and it makes Stein pedal back to the 11-yard line. We'll come back. 3rd quarter, 10:51 to go.
You guys are in here again? I can't believe this.
You're always in here nursing your injuries. I have never seen such a group of cream puffs in my life. This is football. I need guys that can play.
Oh, man, I thought he'd never leave.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Hot dog, anyone?
Outside, it's got more power than any SUV in its class. Inside, it's as quiet as the open plains. Introducing the all-new V6 Grand Vitara from Suzuki.
That's a Suzuki.
I hope she got my good card.
High above Pitt Stadium, the Spirit of Akron giving us those pictures today. Good year, #1 in tires.
Good year, but bad day. I would not want to be in that blimp with that lightning out on the horizon.
Yeah, they are battling the weather, but continue to give us some fine shots above. Lytle on first down. Ball batted up for grabs. Taken down. Arrington, the outside backer. That's pitch and catch. Mac Morrison got the ball up. It's like a volleyball game.
It's a great set by Mac Morrison. Mac Morrison, the outside linebacker, lined up to the right side of your screen. See number 31 right there. He's going to just drop into coverage and read the eyes of the quarterback. Times his jump perfectly. You're right, that was a perfect set. And there's Arrington. Those are the types of things that will drive you crazy as a quarterback. Just did not see Morrison dropping off, and that is Arrington's second interception in as many games.
Ran one back last week against Bowling Green, 16 yards for 6. Penn State will start on the ground with the freshman Eric McCoo. Hank Poteet made the tackle.
You know how they give half sacks out? I always thought they should give half interceptions out. If
Yeah,
that ball wasn't set perfectly, I mean, that was a perfect set by Mac Morrison. He got it up, used his fingertips for his teammate, LeVar Arrington. He should get half that interception.
Half a game ball, split it.
It may pop if you do that.
Kevin Thompson under center. Second down 5 from the Pitt 11-yard line. Feels the motion man. Not much. Good tackle. Aaron Harris tried to turn it outside, but nothing doing. Good downline pursuit by Pittsburgh. But it is good to see Aaron Harris back playing, and he looks very good on his cuts.
I haven't seen a hitch in his giddy up at all, and that's the first thing you look for with a guy with a blown ACL is you look for that, just that little hesitation. I have not seen that at all. This is great game experience and get back on the field in game situations before they have to travel to Ohio State in 2 weeks.
Harris the lone back, 3rd down and 3. Thompson up top. Overthrows Nastasi on the near side. And he took a shot that brings up 4th down.
Come with a full house blitz. Pittsburgh brings it from the outside, and there's number 52, Brian Jacobs. Just moved to outside linebacker this week. Goes unblocked. Man, you're licking your chops when you see nobody step in your lane. And just start churning those legs and see how fast you can get to the quarterback. Brian Jacobs.
That was
nice
helmet.
job getting a shot onto Thompson.
That was helmet on number.
And once again, after a big turnover, they hold him to a field goal.
27-yard attempt. Splits the uprights. Penn State builds on their lead. 9:27 to play, 3rd quarter. Penn State now leads Pittsburgh by a touchdown. Ed, the feeling on that Pittsburgh sideline must feel good. You lose it on a turnover, but yet only lose the 3.
That's twice that the defense for Pittsburgh has come out with their backs up against their own end zone and have held the Nittany Lions to 3 points. That is a victory in the eyes of every defensive coordinator.
Poteet at the goal line. Poteet to the 18. Well, today's NASDAQ Scholar Athlete is Andrew Grishow of the University of Pittsburgh. Fifth-year senior ed, majoring in communication. He wants your job after it's all said and done with a 3.45 GPA.
Well, he's a little busy today. I don't think he can be out here because he is in amongst a bunch of inexperienced players. Andrew's a 3-year starter in the middle of that offensive line for Pitt. Trust me, he's got his work cut out for him with all the blitzes that Penn State throws at him, all those new offensive linemen around him. He's a little busy today. I think I can sit pretty tight right now.
He calls all the blocking schemes for Pitt's offensive linemen. They're going to start it on the run, and it's right up the gut. 26-yard line, a pick up of 6. That's pretty simple football. Ricky Mendenhall picks up 6. It's my guy takes on your guy.
Well, we've already talked about Andrew Grishow. Here he is in the middle of your screen. Brandon Short, the middle linebacker, is going to blitz to the backside A-gap. Grishaw's right there to meet him and drives him out of the lane. Good job by Andrew Grishow. Got underneath the pads of Brandon Short, and that's why Mendenhall had the seam to bust it up in there for 7 yards.
One of the co-captains offensively for Pitt. 2nd down, 3. To the 29. Fleischauer made the tackle. It's a good thing there's not a head inside.
After what we saw at halftime, what happened to Freddie Mitchell out at UCLA, I don't think we need anything that gruesome in our game. Boy, that's a tough break for UCLA. That true freshman was a heck of a football player. With what they can do in surgery now, he'll be back. But man, was that tough to watch.
2nd down. About a yard.
Is there some confusion amongst who's going to run the chains out? Hey, guys, it's always on the other side of the press box. Just look up, find the press box, and you'll find the chains.
Oh, it's close.
Oh,
pull
give it to pull.
First down by the nose.
Pittsburgh came out in the first half. They threw the ball, they threw the ball, they threw the ball. Now they're having great success running it. What a great game plan by Pittsburgh. They've changed up their formations, done an excellent job of throwing different things at Paterno's Nittany Lions. And let me tell you something, these guys are on their heels a little bit for Penn State. And you can see why Joe Paterno has a little concern on that face. This Pitt team, coached by Walt Harris, has come out blazing today.
1st and 10 from the 29. They're going to stay on the ground. A yard off the left side to the 31. They'll start your Sunday off the way it should be with the NFL Today presented by Southwest Airlines. Join Jimmy Nance, Marcus Allen, Brent Jones, and the coach, George Seifert, for the latest on what's going on around the league. And keep watching CBS throughout the day for the NASDAQ halftime report as our New York crew keeps you on top of the action of another busy Sunday around the league.
They keep those guys working, don't they? Man, they got to watch a lot of TVs.
2nd down, 8. Little draw play, big hole, but it closed in a hurry. Mendenhall to the 37-yard line. Let's go to New York City. Timmy Brando with a college football update.
Guys, a key game in the SEC's Western Division. LSU's Kevin Falk is a Heisman candidate because of his running ability, not as a pass receiver. Herb Tyler negotiates, finds him for just his 2nd career touchdown reception. LSU leads Auburn on the Plains by 12. Back to you, fellas.
Huge game for LSU. They were my pick to win the SEC West, and man, are they tough on offense. They have a lot of talent.
3rd down, 3, double wide to the near side. This is the way they throw, and a 1st down and more. Oh, look at the run by Barlow. Inside Penn State territory at the 48, Anthony King finally kinged him. 15-yard gain.
An absolutely picture-perfect execution of a swing route by Matt Lytle. He led Barlow perfectly, set his feet on the run. He turns around, makes a great catch. Remember, he dropped that ball earlier down on about the 15. That would have been a touchdown. That time got a little spun around, but was able to catch it on the run with his feet moving. Good job by both guys. Little pitch to catch. And Barlow knew, hey, I'm not going back to the huddle if I drop that one. Just continue to the sideline.
Barlow was the big man 2 weeks ago. 145 all-purpose yards, 3 touchdowns against Villanova. Not much. Barlow stopped in his tracks, maybe a yard to the 46-yard line. Fleischauer, the left tackle, number 95, made the tackle.
Fleischauer able to keep his helmet on during that play, which is good for him. He had to stick his nose in there a little bit. He was the guy who lost it about 3 plays ago.
Ed, you look at Penn State's defense, pretty impressive numbers through the first 2 ball games. Defensively, they have not, now they have allowed 1 touchdown so far through 10 full quarters this season.
It's amazing, as well as Pitt has moved the ball, that they haven't been able to stick it in the end zone. Maybe this will be the drive.
3 wide receivers. 2nd down and 8. Not a good throw by Lytle. Behind, can he catch it?
But the one positive thing you're starting to see is Pitt has the blitz package of Penn State solved. Arrington came on a full-speed blitz there and got hit right in the mouth by Ricky Mendenhall, the fullback. Stopped dead in his tracks, and that gave Lytle time to throw it. She mistimed it a little bit, threw it behind his receiver. But good things are happening up front for Pitt right now. We said they were going to struggle at the defensive ends of Penn State. We're going to be in the backfield, and they've really settled down and done a nice job. And I think that's because of the running game.
3rd down. Lytle in trouble. You just talked about they pinched in, and guess who? Scioli.
I guess they heard me. A little angry. But that guy doesn't think we're playing too well. So Brad Scioli, the former tight end, comes blazing from that left defensive end spot, and Matt Lytle is running for his life. Whoop, just a little inside move. Hanson, number 76, a junior college guy at the right tackle spot, has probably never seen somebody as athletic as Brad Scioli. Man, was that a nice move by Brown.
The Bolt, good punt down to the 25. That's Bruce Branch, breaks it at the 40, down the sideline, flags are down, and he's bumped down at the 45-yard line. Electrifying run. The Bolt, the punter, actually had to come up and make the tackle. 33-yard boot, 19-yard return. But a flag at the 36.
They're going to bring it back. Big break for Pitt. One of their Achilles heels has been, since Walt Harris got here, is their kicking game. And that's because of a lack of depth. You know, they just don't have a whole lot of bodies here. They're low on their scholarships, and it's hard to put together solid.
In the back during the return.
It's hard to put together solid cover teams. You know, you got to get your starters out there. They're tired from playing all the time, so you want to be able to get some backup guys. Matt Lytle and Walt Harris, who is his position coach, having a discussion. Take a look at this return by Bruce Branch. Right, it's pretty ticky-tacky. Not sure if they called that one or somewhere. There it is. No question about it. That was a hit in the back. And it wasn't even close to the play. You got to be smarter than that.
Double tight. Joe Brown, the 3-year letterman, pulls down his 4th catch of the year at the 32-yard line.
Thompson's pass.
That's the one thing that Joe Paterno, I think, was talking about when he was going in at halftime. We're kind of flopping around, making mistakes. A penalty like that, it came 5 to 6 yards away from the ball, and it was behind the ball. It's just, you want your players to be aggressive, but don't be dumb. I asked Joe about how have you changed over the years. He goes, well, you change your scheme, things like that. But he goes, you know what? The little things are still the same, and those are the little things, not making bad plays on special teams.
Eric McCoo, the lone back on 2nd and 4. McCoo, the freshman, slices for maybe 3 to the 35. And you go back to Paterno. What caught me last night in our talk with Joe Pa was the fact when you asked him about 300, he cordially snapped at you
instantly
and said, you know what, I don't want to talk about 300 because of this worrisome Pitt defense that he was talking about.
He must have known something we didn't know. I mean, when I looked at the film, I thought that 25-point spread was pretty legit, and now you see these guys play, and you know what, you thought Joe Paterno was just giving you the old coach's line, oh, they're good, they're fast. He was right. This Pitt team is giving them all they can handle.
3rd down 2. Devin Thompson swings it out of the backfield. Fumble after the catch. Was it complete? Oh, they're going to say the ball rolled out of bounds at the 38. That'd be a 1st down.
Where they've marked the fumble would not be a 1st down.
Fumble is forward, out of bounds. It'll be 4th down. 4th down.
Right call by the official. Eric McCoo fumbled the ball before he got the first down. You cannot gain an advantage by fumbling the ball upfield. He was not past the first down marker. Good calls by the official to get it back and make Penn State punt on first down. Another fantastic job by the Pitt defense.
Pigeon will punt. Looked like Pitt was short of man, and Race Corey, looks like Trey Creighton had a run on and called the timeout. Well, CBS Premier Week kicks off Monday with an all-new lineup. First is the season premiere of Cosby, followed by the new King of Comedy, the King of Queens, with Kevin James and Jerry Stiller. Then check out Everybody Loves Raymond at a new time, followed by the Brian Benben Show and LA Doctors. It all begins Monday right here on CBS. The full lineup, and Paterno is not happy with his lineup.
Walt Harris very happy with his patched together lineup. You know, he told us that he had to go out and get some junior college guys just to line up and play. And he's got some guys out there fighting, scrapping. Joe Paterno's many lines have their hands, because there are a lot of people in this country right now in shock of what is going on in Pittsburgh. What a great job by Walt Harris. He sold the university on this program. Steve Peterson, the athletic director, we had a nice long talk with him yesterday. He's in there helping. He's in there. He's a former recruiting coordinator, the athletic director of Nebraska and Tennessee. He knows what it takes to win. He's going to be patient with this program. But when they keep playing like this, the wins and losses will take care of themselves.
Stein underneath it at the 27. Well, make sure tonight NASDAQ college football rolls on here on CBS. Ed, how do you like this? Number 2 Florida, Spurrier and the guys taking on number 6 Tennessee. Prime time 8 o'clock on CBS.
The big question is, how much will Doug Johnson, the quarterback from Florida, play? He had that rotator cuff surgery last May. He's not quite 100% healthy. Steve Spurrier said he's going to play him. Be interesting to see how much he goes in for Jesse Palmer.
Find out tonight.
How many miles did you say Joe Pa was going to walk by the end of the day?
I predicted 2, but I think
I'm going to 3.5.
He's up to 3 right now.
I'm going to 3.5.
And we still have a quarter and 3 minutes to play. 13-6, Penn State with the lead. Oh, movement.
Amani Bell got a little jumpy.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
Looked like McCurley, 60, may have pulled him.
He's lined up over that left guard spot, Amani Bell. Right side of your screen, left guard McCurley. Oh, yep. Didn't see that.
How about McCurley?
McCurley must have thought it was on first down.
He's a former defensive tackle, turned guard.
This whole snap count thing's new to him.
1st and 15. 5-yard gain to the 30. Let's go to New York City. Tim Brando with a College Football Today update. Timmy.
Craig, I know your partner Ed knows how good UCLA is out west, but could they be guilty of a look ahead? Next week they get Miami here on CBS. Here, Houston's quarterback Jason McKinley finds Jerry and James tacked on a 2-point conversion. Cougars down by only a touchdown.
A lot of people had UCLA coming from the west, maybe unbeaten, to play in that Fiesta Bowl. Boy, you go to Houston, you better not be looking forward to anybody. They're getting everything they can handle out there.
From the eyes, 2nd down 10. Lytle swings it out, paid for it. Williams, the freshman, picks up good yardage, 6, maybe 7 to the 37. With Lytle getting rid of the ball, but he's taking some shots today.
He has taken some shots. Got a couple guys down on the field after that shot. And it's Jason Hansen taken right into the quarterback, and it looks like Hansen is still down on the field.
Ryan Hansen, a junior. One of those junior college transfers we talk about. We'll check him out when we come back. 3rd down 4 for Pittsburgh.
Jason Duggar comes in at right tackle to spell Hansen.
Just a belly play. A couple of yards are going to be short, so that's going to be a punting situation. Mac Morrison, outside linebacker, came up to plug it.
A little surprised that Walt Harris a passing type coach did not go to the air there. Maybe a little concern putting in a brand new right tackle against these great defensive ends that there would have been too much pressure, but a little surprised with 3rd and 4, almost 3rd and 5, that they did not go to the air.
Greg DeBolt at his own 23. Bruce Branch ready to return for Penn State. Branch at the 23. Good hang time up the middle, and Branch is knocked down at the 37. And then let's check out what else is going on around the Big East today. Boston College, big over Temple. Syracuse, Donovan McNabb and the guys over Rutgers, 70-14. And West Virginia, Maryland later tonight along with Miami.
Watched a little bit of that Syracuse game. 250-pound Rob Conrad lining up at tailback. That could be a little frightening for the rest of the Big East.
Thompson, the quarterback. McCoo, the freshman, he is stood up at the 39. Let's check in with John Dockery downstairs. Doc.
Thank you, Craig. You know, first half, remember Corey Jones, the blur at wide receiver for Penn State, open any number of times. Well, Joe Paterno, I eavesdropped a little bit, heard him talking to his quarterback, Kevin Thompson. He said, you know, Jones has been open all the first half. We'll get back to that in the second half. So keep an eye on number 7 downtown.
Well, the speed that we talked about all day, another guy, state champion in the state of Pennsylvania, the 400 meters in high school, is Corey Jones.
Thompson pedals back, looking at 3 wide receivers, throws to the far side. Oh, he caught it around the hip. Shafi Fields, touchdown.
Last year, Shafi Fields, every time he touched the ball, averaged 17.7 yards per touch. That was a 60-yard touchdown by Shafi Fields.
First touchdown catch of the season for Fields, the senior from Philadelphia. Forney will try the point after, and he boots it up and through.
One-on-one coverage down the right sideline. Shafi Fields never gave up on the route. The defensive back did, however. That's number 7, Trey Creighton, got totally spun around, and Shafi makes a great catch, takes it all the way, 60 yards for the touchdown. We'll take another look. Good protection by that offensive line. Thompson able to set his feet, and again, Trey Creighton just got totally spun around. What a great play by Shafi Fields. And if you're the QB and you got guys making plays like that, it's easy to smile, jump around, and have a little fun.
Kevin Thompson with his second touchdown toss of the year. Let's check in with Doc.
You know, guys, Creighton, I talked to him yesterday about how he plays defensive back. He relies so much on his hands to control the wide receivers. That time, he tried to get a bump, couldn't got it, got spun around, and then went down. He's not the fastest cornerback in the world, but if he doesn't get his hands to control the receiver, he has problems. That time he did.
And Trey Creighton is a big cornerback at 6'2", 180, so you would figure he would be a very physical guy. Great point by Doc, though. When you try to get physical and you get spun around, your feet may get tangled and you go down. A big play for Penn State.
Poteet at the 5. And at the 21-yard line, down he goes. A host of white jerseys pull him down. So Pittsburgh, the momentum you thought shifting back to the Pitt Panthers. Now Penn State strikes big, and Pitt has a bit of a hill to climb with 12 seconds remaining third quarter.
Trey Creighton, you know, they got a lot of guys dressed at home. He's number 7. There's about 3 freshmen that are number 7 as well, but that's Trey. You can see all his teammates coming up. Got a Rogers who's number 7. See a quarterback, a runner. You just don't know with these number 7s. You know, look at the University of Washington. At one time we had 4 number 30s.
First down, quick hitter. A couple of yards for Mendenhall. And the clock winding down, final seconds of the quarter.
Pitt happy just to run it out.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score. Penn State on top, 20-6. We'll return to Pittsburgh right after this message and a word from your local station. The fourth quarter, Penn State leads Pittsburgh 20-6 as you look at the skyline of downtown Pittsburgh.
Actually, it's cleared up a tad, but it's starting to drizzle, I think, down on the field. That's what Goff reported.
Barlow stopped in his tracks, thrown for a couple of yards. Kirpakis, who backs up Scioli at the right end, made the tackle, number 37.
This has really been the tale of two halves for this Pittsburgh offense. First half, they came out and they threw. The second half, they have just tried to grind it out. No success there, but first half, they rushed for 45 yards. In the third quarter, they rushed for 63. And right away, you see that they're going to continue to go to that well. Just continue to try to grind it out, eat some clock, and get some rest for their defense.
On the big rollout is Lytle. Sidearms it to the sideline. Oh, the leaner. Did he get him down? Oh, what a catch at the 39. First down, Pittsburgh.
If you are a right-handed quarterback, I don't think you make this play happen. Because he's running to his left, he can get more zip on it. That's Lytle. And Latif, let's watch the tippy toes. No question, that's good in the NFL. He gets them both down. What an incredible stretch out by Latif Green. The hardest thing is you don't see the sideline. You just got to hope where you're dragging is the right spot. What an incredible catch.
You know, you look like he's a 6'4" guy. He's 5'10". Only a sophomore from
Stockton.
He's
probably 6'2" on his tippy toes, though.
He stretched it out. In trouble's Lytle. Good pursuit. Guess who? LeVar Arrington, the speedster outside backer, the Butkus candidate, slashes through and drops him for a loss back at the 31.
Arrington right here is going to come on a blitz, and that speed is what kills. Larry Coyer comes right by. The back cannot get in there in time. He actually got blocked. You know, that's where speed makes up. Even after he's blocked, Arrington was still able to close in the quarterback.
Lytle again on the chase, and he's going to have to step out at the 25. So the big play now, offensively thwarted by a couple of big defensive stands. Killmeyer, the left end, number 94. And Lytle just had no choice. He just ran out of bounds. Stops the clock.
Run around trying to make some plays. Back to LeVar Arrington for a second. You know, when we were talking to Jerry Sandusky, the defensive coordinator at Penn State, he was going back and forth on who he was going to start at that outside linebacker spot, either him or Gatton. And he said, you know what, finally, the light finally came on for Arrington. He said, I had a talk with him. Jerry Sandusky said, I had a talk with him. He said, look, you can fly around and make plays, but you have to stay in our defensive scheme. And that light finally came on.
Flags are down. Say one stat that Walt Harris will take a deep look at is that sacks today. 7 on Matt Lytle.
Prior to the snap, illegal snap on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
The illegal snap is when the center jerks that ball before he snaps it and then snaps it. Just like an illegal procedure penalty. Walt Harris not happy to see his crew moving backwards after a great play by Latif Green. They've gone nothing but the other direction.
Lytle on the rollout. Third down and a half mile. Down the middle. Big catch at midfield. Oh, up went Terry Murphy.
And it will depend on the spot.
It will. It will be very close. I'm going to predict just a nose away. It's going to be a tough call for Walt Harris.
There is a flag at the 25. May be all for nothing. Maybe coming back.
Downfield, 5-yard penalty, repeat third down.
You get the long rollout. Players start to break away from their blocks.
You know, when that play started, I saw a couple offensive linemen sneaking out to the right. Watch Grishoff start sneaking. See the right guard. See 76 Hansen. Looks like they're going downfield maybe for a screen play. Maybe they got there. He is. Hansen was about 5 yards in front of the line of scrimmage. They'll allow you 2 or 3, especially if you're lined up and blocking a man. But that time, Hansen, don't know if they had a screen play set up and it busted, but Hansen got too far downfield.
Third down 35 from the 26. From the eye, Lytle. Second man through, upended is Barlow, the sophomore from Pittsburgh. Tikas Pettigrew. I got to put Pettigrew on my all name list. Tikas Pettigrew. Thanks for stop.
It's a shame.
That great catch.
Two great plays. One of them called back. Terry Murphy's called back. And Lateef Green with an incredible catch on the sideline. All taken back because of penalties and mistakes and sacks. He's still pacing. He's still yelling and screaming over there.
Branch back to receive the punt. Pedals to the 25. Up the middle he goes. Breaks one, breaks two, and then takes a hammer at the 41. Nice return by Branch. We'll take a break. 12:14 to go. Penn State on top. 12:14 remains, fourth quarter. Penn State back on offense, holding a 20-6 lead, and they're going to grind. They're going to grind some clock. And at our CBS Sports Line stat of the game, time of possession.
Almost 9.5 minutes more for Pittsburgh. The whole reason when they're on offense, every time they run a play, the play clock is almost down to no time on the clock. I guarantee when they came out today, their plan was, let's keep our defense off the field no matter how we have to do it. Matt Lytle was probably told, wait till the last possible second to snap that ball.
Well, for complete college football coverage, go to cbs.sportsline.com. Clock continues to run. Penn State happy to let Omar Easy just ease into that line. Sophomore from Everett, Massachusetts.
He has only been playing football. This is his 4th year playing football. Came from Jamaica to Massachusetts. Had never put on pads. Played cricket and soccer while he was in Jamaica. He got hit his first day at practice. He rolled over and he looked at Joe Paterno and said, "Ooh, man, they never hit like that in Jamaica."
Ooh, man. Flags are down. Now we go back with just the...
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Penn State will march back 5, but Paterno's got a plethora of tailbacks. Mitchell, Easy, McCoo, Aaron Harris.
Left guard, thought it was on 1. It was on 2. It's amazing, though, talking to Joe Paterno when we were talking about how you change over the years. He said, "Oh, we go visit other schools and we keep ourselves fresh." But remember what we talked about earlier is the little things still count. You still have to remember the snap count.
Joe Nastasi lines up near side. Second down, 12. Thompson fires a bullet across, incomplete through the hands of Shafi Fields. Let's go to New York. Timmy Brando with a College Football Today update. Tim?
Craig, Houston had thrown a bit of concern to UCLA, but here you see Jermaine Lewis cracking in for his 3rd touchdown on the ground, and moments after, Ryan Rocks picked off a Houston touchdown, and UCLA leads it now by 3 touchdowns.
Craig James said during the pregame show that UCLA couldn't be a top team and, didn't expect them to do much unless they got a running back. Well, Jermaine Lewis nails 3 touchdowns today. Maybe the Bruins have found that tailback that Craig said they needed.
UCLA's had the rich tradition.
I saw some of those great running backs they had. Gaston Green, those guys used to run all over us.
Sam Crenshaw in double tight end formation. Thompson sets and fires. Lobs picked off at the 40. There is life still left in Pittsburgh. Hank Poteet, his 2nd pick of the season.
There are 3 starters on Pitt's defense that are former offensive players. Hank Poteet was a running back last year against Penn State. He lined up here. He runs the route with the tight end, comes underneath of him. What a great play by Hank Poteet. He reads the quarterbacks. Thompson, a little bit, reading that. Poteet was just reading his eyes from that nickelback spot, came up and made a great play. Again, another one of those guys started at running back, played last year against Penn State, and now making a huge contribution in the defensive backfield for the Panthers.
Lytle, the left-hander, rolls, fires. Looks like it may have taken a skip. Incomplete. We're going to take you right back to New York. Timmy Brando with another update. Tim.
All right, Craig. Ben Laird had only thrown 1 touchdown pass in 52 prior attempts. He has 2 today against LSU at home. This one to Karsten Bailey, his favorite target. And suddenly Auburn trails LSU by only 5 down on the plains of Alabama.
Boy, you don't want to let a whole lot of momentum get back to Auburn in that one. It'll get awfully loud for you if you do.
Down in Alabama. 2nd down 10 from the 43. I formation. 3 wide receivers for Pitt. Lytle, sidearms. Incomplete. The intended receiver was Kenny Ketchen. Anthony Keene, good coverage. You know, you mentioned Kenny Ketchen, the veteran of Desert Storm. He's 26. 26 out here playing. Junior, got another year after this. He served on the USS Independence and the Kitty Hawk.
This is easy duty. We talked earlier about when he was going to junior college, his car wouldn't go in reverse. He didn't have enough money to fix it, so when he had to back out, he had to stick his foot out the door to back it up. I guess the GI Bill doesn't give you money to fix your car just to go to college.
Yeah, no transmission repair. Yabba dabba do. Oh, in and out. Terry Murphy got turned around. Looked like it was off his backside. Wanted to throw the slant inside, so that brings up a 4th down.
Steve Mushagian told us, the offensive coordinator for Pitt, that the one thing he thought Matt Lytle had improved the most in this year was his accuracy. That one thrown a little behind Terry Murphy. But yesterday we saw in practice how good his deep ball is. They haven't really thrown, Pittsburgh has not really thrown the ball downfield much, which is a little surprising as good as his arm is down the field.
7th punt for DeBolt. Branch. Fair catch at the 15. 10:19 to go here at Pitt Stadium. Penn State on top.
Pitt Stadium, and part of the Penn State tradition is their uniforms. As they get set to go here, we'll watch the play, but the uniform's very simple. No flash, no names on the back of the jerseys, no white shoes, just simple, straightforward. Joe Paterno doesn't want to make any fashion statements, though there was a statement just running the ball around the right side. And Joe simply says, hey, this is all about team at Penn State, about the group. It's not a me generation. It's no individuals, no stars. It's all about the group. And Craig, and I remember back in the 70s, the Penn State team used to have those numbers on their helmets. He even took those away. So it's vanilla for Penn State in their uniforms.
Professor Dockery, thank you for the lesson today. Yes, that was, you know what, I remember Capoletti wore 22, and then soon after the numbers just kind of disappeared slowly.
If you ask me, these are gorgeous uniforms, maybe the best looking in college football. You don't need it. Just beautiful when you see Penn State run out on the field.
And one thing too, if you look at the helmet, just plain white. You don't get the skull and crossbones. You don't get a lion's head.
They give no awards
no
out.
touchdowns.
Right.
It's just, hey, it's us. We're out there to play 11 guys at a time. You against me.
I love Joe Paterno's motto. Football a high second, academics an undisputed first. He's been doing that since he got to campus. An English lit major at Brown back in the 40s has carried on that tradition to this day.
Easy to the 35. I'll bring up a 2nd down attendance today. Tip your hat to Pitt. 56,743. Largest crowd at this stadium since 1989 against Penn State.
Pitt is back. I mean, they were in the doldrums there for a while. They were the laughing stock for a while. As a matter of fact, Walt Harris was on the staff at Ohio State in 1996 when Ohio State beat this Pitt team 72-0. He said it was so hard when he came in here to look in those guys' faces. He said we didn't call a pass in the 2nd half, but he knew these guys had been beat down and he had to bring them back up, and he's done a great job with that.
Nittany Lions just trying to grind it out right now. Saramelli, the fullback, 233-pounder, picks up a couple. Clock running. And make sure you tune in tonight. More on the NASDAQ College Football this afternoon tonight. 8 o'clock Eastern. Number 2 Florida. Steve Spurrier and the guys taking on the Vols of Tennessee.
56,000 here in Pitt Stadium. 107 grand down in Knoxville they'll have tonight. Man, is that place going to be nuts.
Nearly twice, huh? Yeah. 3rd down and 2. Big defensive stand here for Pittsburgh. Crenshaw, the motion man. Right up the gut is the big man. Saramelli, Mike Saramelli from Allentown, PA. picks up the first down at the 45. Clock.
It goes even further than the dogs and the license plates of his parents that say Joe knows. At his house, when you call and you get the answering machine, you get the fight song. I mean, come on. I mean, they are loyal to a fault at the Caramelli residence. That's amazing.
Well, strap yourself in. The new season of Jag is about to take off. See why Jag is the fastest growing drama on television today. Get ready for the all-new Jag. Premieres Tuesday on CBS.
Ryan Fagan, what is called the long guard, being attended to. It's good to see him getting up and walking it off. We'll probably see him back in the game if he can do that. You know, it's interesting. Fran Ganner, the offensive coordinator, said Joe Paterno has always flopped his lines. There's a long side, the side where the tight end is, and there's a short side where there's an open end on the tackle. And what they try to do is specialize their people. The open-ended tackle is the better pass blocker because he does not have help with the tight end. And the long tackle, who lines up next to a tight end, is more of the road grader, the guy who's big and strong, good run blocker. And they've had really good success. The one problem with that, you have to have a lot of good backup offensive linemen because they don't run mirror image plays. So younger guys struggle with the fact that they have to know two different plays to play both guard positions.
Fagan out, a fifth-year senior. And in is Greg Granson, number 55. He'll step in at the long guard spot. Penn State stays on the ground, just churning it up. Couple of yards for Omar Easy.
Umar, good running. Omar out of Jamaica. You know, he went to Massachusetts as a junior in high school and started playing football. He only played for 2 years. Senior year, he became Massachusetts Player of the Year. Not surprising for a guy who goes 243 pounds. He averaged 10.2 yards per carry in high school. You know who he reminds me of? Jamal Lewis down at Tennessee. Big, strong guy who has to learn the game a little bit. There's Fagan. Looks like they're working on a little calf cramp, possibly.
Been a tough day in the trenches. Clock running under 7.5 to go. And again, off the right side, just the power plays. Again, Omar Easy. Now, he's had a pretty good debut this season. Averaging about 40 yards a game. A couple of touchdowns. But, you know, he's had some fumble problems.
That's the one thing, you know, when guys are new to football, if you've played football since you were 6, 7 years old, that's the one thing you've always learned. That's the thing that's kind of unique to the game of football is the amount of stripping and hitting on that ball. Played soccer, cricket, never really had to protect the ball. He's only been playing this game for 4 years. It's one of the harder things to learn is to lock it away. But the more he plays at this level, he'll learn to lock it away.
Crenshaw, the motion man, 3rd down 4. Play action. Thompson on his hip, turns, and he's going to take a shot. Oh, he took a shot at midfield. Looked like Crenshaw wide open. Way downfield on the rollout.
They run a little counter fake. They get a little protection on the backside for Thompson. It's a run all the way. He tucked it to go. Number 41, Pete Simonian, transfer out of Boston University, gets a hold of that leg and rolls it a little bit. It's good to see Thompson run off the field, but good pursuit by the backside of the Pitt defense.
Chuck Brown came in to clean up. Stein underneath it at the 14. We'll take a break. 6:27 to go here at Pitt Stadium. Penn State on top.
At Transamerica,
why?
We have specially priced life insurance policies for people who still exercise without a trainer. Call a Transamerica agent. The people in the pyramid working for you.
It began as the product of meticulous Japanese design but it was sent to Europe for finishing school. It was tested on Austria's Alpine roads, refined on Germany's autobahns, and chased on England's racetracks. Now the car that's proven itself in Europe is crossing the pond. Introducing the all-new Infiniti G20. Born in Japan, educated in Europe, now available in America.
With Transamerica Life Insurance and your estate plan, you can be sure your money will go where you want it to go. The people in the pyramid working for you.
This season, Nash Bridges really gets wild.
I don't think he meant to do that.
It's the season premiere of Nash Bridges CBS Friday.
Penn State with a 20-6 lead. Pitt trying to get something going here in the final 6.5 minutes. Craig Bolerjack, Ed Cunningham, along with our partner John Dockery down on the sideline. Ed, simply, are you surprised with this score? It's a 25-point spread in favor of Penn State.
And when we watched the film, we thought maybe that was legit. But the one thing Pitt has done, played very hard on defense. I'm extremely impressed with their defensive scheme. They've blitzed, they've moved, they've really kept Penn State on their heels all day offensively. And I tell you, I'm amazed at how many times they have had Penn State go 3 and out during this game.
Lytle under center had a big game 2 weeks ago against Villanova. 349 yards, 4 touchdowns. Today 164 and 2 picks. Lytle on the keeper. First down. Pittsburgh at the 29.
Joe Paterno said going in at half when he was talking to Doc, he said that option play killed us. It's the first time we've seen it. Look at Paterno laughing. Obviously saw something they didn't see. He saw something that the officials did not see, but did not make a good enough adjustment at halftime, and Lytle goes for about 12 yards. Interesting call by the coaching staff at Pittsburgh.
You compare the 2 quarters of the 2 halves, 108 in the first half. Half that here in the second half of play. Just over 5 minutes remaining. Lytle pedals back over the middle. In and out of the hands. David Macklin on the coverage. That was catching.
Justin Kirpakis, a backup defensive end, murdered Matt Lytle. Man, is Lytle tough. This guy, he's gained a lot of respect from a lot of people across this country. A lot of people probably had forgotten about him. I mean, 96 was such a bad season for Pittsburgh. He sits on the bench for Pete Gonzalez last year, and now he's back. Let me tell you something. He is one tough guy.
Mendenhall still on his feet. First down and more to the 45. Brandon Short chased him down.
This game plan it's amazing. 56 yards for Lytle in the second half, and that's because they've had success, Pittsburgh has, running the football. Mendenhall is a load. Look at his legs churning and burning for those extra yards. Pittsburgh is just continuing to grind it out and grind it out, burn the clock, but they're not going anywhere. They are here through all 4 quarters. What an incredible effort by this team.
7 yard per carry average. Deep ball down to near sideline. Flags coming out of the hip pockets. Anthony King, the cover man, number 19. That was Lateef Grimm, the big play man, who made that toe stretcher earlier in the quarter.
Pass interference on Anthony King. Anthony King lined up right here with Lateef Grimm. Look how much space there is between him and the sideline. That's because he's going to run the out route, and he needs to give that quarterback plenty of space. But what they're going to call is while the ball is in the air, King is pushing him the whole way and widens him too far. The official sees that arm out, push, push, push. They're going to call that every time once the ball goes in the air.
A lot of time remaining, under 5 minutes. 20-6. Penn State. Penalties. Penn State's been hit with 5 for 67. 6 flags against the Pitt Panthers. Lytle steps up. A lot of room. Plenty of room. Heads to the sideline. 30, 25 at the 20. And takes a slide down at the 16-yard line. Lytle continues just to get up and just keep getting the job done.
It's really hard not to cheer for this guy. I mean, he's exciting to watch. He makes plays happen. He's got a good, strong arm. And now he's starting to get settled in the pocket. Brad Scioli is going to flush him out of the pocket. Lytle's going to step up. Remember earlier in the game where he kind of got panicked? There he's actually still looking downfield, and he looks in front of him and says, whoa, there is a lot of AstroTurf in front of me, and he tucks it and goes. 225 pounds. It's a big guy rolling down the field. Like I said, hard not to cheer for a guy like Matt Lytle.
Derek Fox, the hero back, finally knocked him down. It's a 1st and 10, 16-yard line of Penn State. A couple to the 13. Barlow, the ball carrier, stopped by Courtney Brown, the left end.
If I'm Matt Lytle, if I'm Matt Lytle, I want to throw a fade route. You're in that area where you've got plenty of room to throw it into the corner of the end zone. You can get a lot of height up on the ball. Why not try one? Man, what a shocker that would be if you could stick it in the end zone right here with 3:45 to play in the 4th quarter.
Clock continues to run. Pitt, double tight end. Mendenhall, the lone back. Lytle looks to the far side, throws a dart, nearly intercepted. Now a flag is thrown in the end zone. Kenny Kitchen, the intended receiver, but the cover was provided by Anthony King.
Almost made me look like a genius. Matt Lytle was looking for the fade route. He had Lateef Green wide to the right. Boy.
Pass interference on the defense in the end zone. Ball is placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
When the pass interference is in the end zone, you get it down to the 2-yard line. You can't go inside the 2. But Lytle on the comeback route. And there it, yep, no question. He went right through him. Went right through him. Good call by the officials. A good throw by Lytle. And listen to that 12th man getting involved in this ball game.
1st and goal from the 3. Double tight set for Pittsburgh. 10 on the play clock. Lytle on the keeper. Spins in. Touchdown.
Here's the option that Joe Paterno has said at halftime. We need to adjust to stop it, and they did not. Straight down the line, Lytle tucks it early. 225 pounds going up against Mac Morrison. What an incredible single effort by Matt Lytle. That's all individual effort. It's one-on-one against Mac Morrison. Morrison goes 240. Lytle goes 225, and the scrappy quarterback gets it into the end zone. I'm telling you, he is making a fan out of me.
Officially a 2-yard touchdown run, and what a spin. A lot of time here at Pitt Stadium. Ruzilla will try the point after. That would pull Pitt to within 7. Good snap, good hold, kick is up. Walt Harris down 7. Up here in Pittsburgh. It's a 7-point game. The Goodyear blimp floating overhead, providing our aerial views for today's game. The Spirit of Akron is proud to be a part of the celebration for the 100th anniversary of the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company.
3 minutes, 26 seconds left in the 4th quarter. If you're Penn State, they've got their hands team out. In other words, they've got all the guys with good hands. They line them up within 10 yards of the ball. They stack them, and they are ready for an onside kick. And it looks to me like the kicker has the ball lined up for one. But if I'm Pitt, there's plenty of time, 3:26, and the way my defense has been playing, I just don't know that I risk that right now. Your defense has been playing too well today to put them in jeopardy and give great field position to Penn State if they were to recover the onside.
You saw the rain spattering across the pigskin. John Dockery tells us, watch out for this. And they boot it deep. Chaffee Fields from the 5. Good kick coverage. And Penn State will start at their own 17 with just over 3:15 to go.
Penn State did the right thing by lining up with their hands team. Everybody up close to the, you got one timeout if you're Pitt, but you got all 3 from Penn State. They got plenty of time and plenty of timeouts to hold on to the ball, try to run down, maybe get another field goal or touchdown. But Penn State wisely put their hands team out. But the one thing it does is it doesn't allow your blocking to set up like it would if you had people back. That's why you get the bad field position, 17 yards. And here comes that 12th man that has been so important for this Pitt University. All the students are here.
Off the left side, not much. That will bring up 2nd down and 9, a 1-yard gain. Now you can see the grain beginning to pick up. It's been hovering around all afternoon and finally makes its appearance around the 3.5-minute mark.
If it gets too wet out there, it may affect Pitt. If they're able to get the ball back and need a touchdown to tie, could affect if that ball gets slick. And remember, they only have the 1 timeout. Penn State needs to continue to burn this clock.
We'll let the crowd tell you what happens on this play. That brings up 3rd down and 8.
Boy, I would hate to be in Joe Paterno's shoes right now. 3rd and 8, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Do you put the ball in the air, risk an interception? Or do you try to run it and just decide, and then punt it away and see what your defense can do? I got to go for the 1st down. I got to let Kevin Thompson, who's been in the game the entire second half, they have not put Rashard Casey in. I got to try to see if Kevin Thompson can get me the 1st down.
Hornak nearly intercepted the ball. 3rd down 8 from the 19. Draw play. Oh, Mitchell caught for a loss back at the 13.
True freshman galore playing for this Pittsburgh team. And you're going to see one of them right here, number 19. Amir Purifoy was lined up in the A-gap, shuffled over the top. Great job by Purifoy from his linebacker spot. Did not buy the pass fake, stayed home. Good play by a true freshman.
Biggest punt of the day for Pigeon. 2 yards deep in his end zone. Stein back to receive. That one came off the side of its foot. Takes a bounce, and it's down at the 42. Field position, maybe their finest field position, Ed, of this half. What does Walt Harris put together right now with 1:38 to go?
You need a touchdown. You need a touchdown and a 1-point conversion to win. I don't think you go for the 2 if you do score. Let's go to overtime and see if this crowd can help us win. Walt Harris knows he has that 1 timeout. Has to run some sideline routes. Remember, though, every 1st down in college football, the clock stops until they get the ball set and start it up again. So if you can get a 1st down in the middle of the field, fine. Otherwise, you got to get stuff on the sides of the field so you don't have to burn that last timeout. You may need it when you get down to the red zone.
Ketchum and Grimm as 2 wide receivers. Pitt with 1 timeout remaining. Down he goes. There's been no whistle. Ball's picked up. Penn State.
The official's pointing and he was down at the 40. If you're Matt Lytle, you cannot do that. You cannot take a sack. Was not great protection by the offensive line, but he had long enough to decide, you know what, things don't look good. I better throw this thing away. Good. Wow, what a shot by LeVar Arrington. That's real close. That was real close to a fumble. LeVar Arrington, one of those guys, Jerry Sandusky told us, can make plays to change a game, and that was almost one that ended it.
Again, heavy pressure. Lytle steps, ducks, still on his feet. Down he goes, 2nd time, and you're going to have to burn a timeout. Your final one if you're Pitt.
They have not gotten the timeouts, and precious seconds are running off the clock. There it is.
You know, we talked earlier about the 2 junior college transfers that come in to play the 2 left and right tackles up against some big guys in Scioli, Courtney Brown. Is this what's going on?
They've turned up the heat, and they're getting all over Lytle.
More great football on CBS. Doubleheader Sunday on CBS. Pittsburgh, Miami. Cordell against Marino. Will Leaf play against the Chiefs, and then the late games, Denver, Elway against Oakland, Baltimore, and Jacksonville.
A lot of good teams out there in the AFC. I'll tell you that the tide has turned in the NFL. It's now the AFC that could become dominant over the NFC.
Report is Elway, who popped the hamstring, took most of the snaps in practice yesterday, so they see him to go. You can't keep Elway down.
That's amazing. 38 years old, and he heals that fast all the time.
Walt Harris, his second season.
Now you have 2 downs. It's 3rd down and 25. You need to get half of that back right now. Hopefully somebody will get out of bounds so you don't have to run up and helter-skelter try to run another play. But you've got 2 more downs. You've got to look at it like that. You want to get about half of it back right now to give yourself a legitimate chance to make it on 4th down.
3 wide receivers. Again, pressure. Lytle steps and then down for the 3rd time.
LeVar Arrington is on the spot again.
With help from Brandon Short. Those 2 make an incredible combination outside and in. Both are preseason Butkus candidate nominees.
LeVar Arrington is just too good of an athlete. They had Ricky Mendenhall, the fullback, out there. That's real tough duty for Mendenhall. Arrington is just too quick, and here they come again.
4th down. Deep ball down the middle, catching up and incomplete. And so Penn State, tough time on the road, will get it back with a 7-point lead. 18 seconds remain.
Matt Lytle nearly gets sacked again. Heaves one down the field. And if that ball gets there just a second earlier, number 18 is Ascari Adams, got there just as the ball did. A perfectly timed hit by Adams to break that pass up. Otherwise, that was the 1st down.
Kevin Thompson on a knee. Final seconds tick away. Joe Paterno, in a very difficult fashion, picks up win number 301.
When we were talking with him last night, we thought he was just, the old coach talk. Hey, they're a good team. Walt Harris has them prepared as they meet there at the middle of the field. It's got to be a lot of respect. Joe Paterno knows the hurdles that Walt Harris has had to go over to get this Pitt team back together.
Penn State, 8th ranked in the country, on the road, wins at Pitt 20-13. Good effort by Walt Harris. He preaches effort. He got it today.
Oh, he got everything he could out of his players today. They left nothing on the field.
We take you downstairs. John Dockery with Coach Joe Paterno, guys.
Coach, nice gesture there to Matt Lytle, congratulating him.
That kid played a very courageous football game, almost beat us by himself. And Pitt's a good, solid football team, and our defense really had to rise to the occasion. Because offensively, we got to learn how to catch the ball, throw it better. We're just not very good.
I know you said coming in here you expected a tough game, and indeed it was. Was it a question of you not playing up to your potential, or Pitt just playing real well?
Pitt's pretty good. I think they're good, and they played hard, and we didn't make some plays. We made one play all day. The one Chappie Fields got one we were lucky on. Other than that, we didn't make a play offensively.
Part of it also a young team coming into a hostile environment?
Well, young, but you can make all kinds of excuses. You either make plays or you don't make plays. We're going to find some guys that can make plays next game.
And you thought the next 300 was going to be easy.
Yeah,
good luck.
Thanks.
All right, Craig.
Well, make sure you stick around tonight. NASDAQ College Football tonight, 8 Eastern. It's number 2 ranked Florida. Steve Spurrier and his Gators taking on 6th ranked Tennessee. So for Ed Cunningham and John Dockery, this is Craig Bolerjack saying so long from Pitt Stadium, where our final score in a tough battle, Penn State 20, Pittsburgh 13. Tim Brando, Craig James, and the coach, Lou Holtz. They'll join us after this. The final 2013 Penn State.